So let's do inequality today. Let's do inequality today. Inequalities. Okay. So it's a very interesting topic. You might be doing this topic as you will go to college from Monday also. But we are having time right now, so we can start this thing. Okay, let's take it from very basics. First, I will ask you. Um, let's say if x is written between 3 to 4, or let's start with something very basic. I'm asking a very basic question. Just tell me this thing: true or false? If I'm saying 5 is greater or equal to 5, this is a true statement or false statement? This is a correct statement or wrong statement? 5 is greater or equal to 5. Some are saying false, some are saying true. Yeah, two options are there. It might be true, it might be false. So what do you think? Okay, okay. So first, let us understand what this sign means. Let us understand what this sign means. This sign means greater or equal to. Greater or equal to. Correct? So 5 is greater or equal to 5. So equal to word is also coming there. So hence it's a correct statement. Okay, 5 is greater or equal to 5, or word is there. Is 5 greater than 5? So answer is no. Is 5 equal to 5? Answer is yes. Okay. So this is a true statement. This is a true statement. Everybody understood this thing? This is a true statement. This should not be written as false. Okay. Let me ask you one more thing. What is minus x? A positive value, negative value, 0, or none of these? What is minus x? A positive value, a negative value, 0, or none of these? Okay. Negative, 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 negative value. Okay, nice. So, some are saying 0 also. Some is saying both. Aniket is saying depends upon value of x. Very good. So it will depend upon value of x. Let's say if we take x as minus 2, so minus minus will become positive. If I will take x as plus 2, it will become negative. If I will take x as 0, it will become 0. So answer will be what? All of these, not none of these. Option A, option B, option C. Anything can be correct, because we can't say by looking by minus x that it's a negative value. Okay, it will depend upon value of x. Nice. So these were the very basic two things in which a student get confused. What is the value of minus x? What is the value of 5 greater than 5? It's correct or not? So let's do some more things here. Let's say I have written x is greater or equal to 5. X is greater or equal to 5. So we can take x, and x can take any value from 5. 5 will be taken up to plus infinity on the number line. On the number line, if you will see, 5 is here. So we will take all the values from 5 to plus infinite. from the value from 5 to plus infinite. Okay. So this is known as closed. This is known as closed because we have to take 5 also. Because we have to take 5 also. Let's say I have written x is greater or equal to 3, less than or equal to 7. So how I will draw this? I will draw it from 3 to 7. 3 is also closed and 7 is also closed. Closed means we are including it. Closed circle means we are including it. If I will write it x less than 3, greater than 3, but less than 7. So how I will draw it? I will make open because there is no equality here. There is no equality here. And close at 7. Okay. In this way, I can draw it on a number line, closed and open. Whenever there is equality, I will put close. Whenever there will be only inequality, let's say x greater than 5. So how I will draw this? Okay, got x greater than 5, let's say. So I will draw it like this. Open up to infinite. Open up to infinite. Correct? There is another way to write all these things with the help of brackets. There is another way to write all these things with help of brackets. So how to write this thing from 5 to infinity? So I can write this as x belongs to close bracket from 5 to open bracket infinity. Because we can't touch infinity, infinity will be always open bracket. Here I will write x belongs to close bracket 3 to close bracket 7 because we are going from 3 to 7 and 3 and 7 both are included. In this, what I will write? Third case, which bracket on 3? Close or open? Okay. I will write it as x belongs to open bracket 3 and close bracket 7. I will write x belongs to open bracket 3 and close bracket 7. Open means this curly one and close means that square bracket. This one. I will write x belongs to open bracket 5 to open bracket infinite. Infinity will always have open bracket. Infinity will always have open bracket. Yeah, correct. So please write these things. We will just continue with this bracket thing. Yeah. Same timing of test as the last one. I think so. It was 3 to 5, na? Last time. Yeah. 2 to 4. Okay. So today also timing will be 2 to 4. No, today is the last class. From tomorrow is Sunday. Monday you will be having regular classes. Everybody written? Portion for maths test is full syllabus test. Soeb is saying just some points for test. Give the test properly, Soeb. That's the point for you. Okay. Let's move further. Let's move further. Let's draw some more things. Let's say we got x belonging to 7 to 9 open. Can we draw this thing? It's very easy. It's very easy to draw a number line. So this can be written as x is greater or equal to 7 and less than 9 open. And on number line I will write 7, I will write 9, on 7 I will make close, and on 9 I will make open. All the three notation is best. Okay. Next thing, x belongs to 2 comma 5 union 7 comma 9 open. Let's say I have written this thing, 2 comma 5 union 7 comma 9. So we are adding two parts here. So first I will write 2 5 7 9. It will be close on 2, close on 5, close on 7, and open on 9. So 2 to 5 and 7 to 9. 2 to 5 and 7 to 9. Kritika is asking that this test is going to affect us like segregation. In resonance, there is no segregation. If you are not knowing this, you should know this, that there is no segregation in resonance. Due to tests, there is no shuffling. Okay. Understood this thing? Or, and after that we can write plus infinity and minus infinity will always have open bracket, because we can't touch infinity. That's why it will always have a open bracket. So what is difference between open and close? See, I will just explain this thing. Here we have taken from 7. From 7 means 7 is included, 7.00001 is included, 7.001, then 7.1, 7.2, everything is included up to what? Up to just before 9. Up to just before 9. That will be 8.99999. But 9 is not included in the value of x. It's going up to 8.99999, but it's not going to 9. Similarly, all values are taken from 2 to 5. 2 is also taken, 5 is also taken. Here 7 is also taken, but we are taking again up to 8.999 is taken, but 9 is not taken in the value of x. Yes. So in the open bracket, the number is not taken. In the closed bracket, the number is taken. So I think so this is very clear to everyone. Please write this. Okay. Let's start with some basic problems. Solve for x. We have to solve for x. Let's say we are given like this. X plus 2 is less than 2x plus 4. So what will be the value of x? So what will be the value of x? So what we will do here is, we will bring this x here and we will bring this 4 here. So it will be minus 4 plus 2 is less than or equal to 2x minus x. So x is greater or equal to minus 2. X is greater or equal to minus 2. And what this means is x can take any value from minus 2 to infinity. If you want to draw it on number line, you will draw it like this. Greater means right side, less means left side. So our answer can be minus 2 to infinite. So in exam, these two format answer can be given. It can be given in terms of inequality or it can be given in terms of brackets. Right? Everybody got this thing? Any doubt in this? Let's solve one more problem. 3 times x minus 2 is less than 2 times x minus 1. What will be the value of x? What will be the value of x? So let's open this thing. So it will be 3x minus 6, 2x minus 2. This will go here. This will go here. So 3x minus 2x is less than 6 minus 2. So x is less than 4. And how to write this thing? X is less than 4. So less means this side. Correct? So we always write smaller to larger number. So x belongs to minus infinity to 4 open. This is correct. And writing this thing 4 comma minus infinity is wrong. We always write from lower to higher number, left to right, lower to higher number. So minus infinity to 4. Writing 4 to minus infinity will be a wrong thing. Okay. Let's do the next one. Or we can say it x only. Find the value of x. Very easy question. Try it. Okay, before slide, I will just open it. One second. Yes. Please write this. Okay. So minus 2 times x plus 3 equal to greater or equal to 5. So what will be the x? Minus 5 to 5, great x is greater or equal to half. Different answer we are getting. Let's solve this. So minus 2x minus 6 is greater or equal to 5. This will come here, this will go there. So minus 5 minus 6 is greater or equal to plus 2x. Okay, x is less than or equal to minus 5.5. X is less than or equal to minus 5.5. So minus infinity to minus 5.5. Minus infinity to minus 5.5. Everybody got it? Understood? Okay. Now let us say I give you a question like this. X square minus 9 is greater or equal to 0. X square minus 9 is greater or equal to 0. We have to find x. So how would we solve it? How can we solve it? What will be the value of x? No, x is not. Only x equal to 3 is not the answer. X equal to 3 will be one of the answer. That's okay. But this will give many values, na? Let's say if you will put 4 also, it will satisfy. If you will put 5 also, it will satisfy. Correct? So many value of x it can satisfy. So what will be the all values of x? We have to find. Infinite. No, 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 no. So let's first factorize it by a square minus b square. Okay, by a square minus b square. Okay, so see, whenever we are putting a value, whenever we are putting a value greater or equal to 3, this will become positive. This will become positive. Yes or no? Whenever we are putting a value greater than 3, this will become positive. So x is greater than 3 is our answer. And whenever we are putting a value less than minus 3, less than minus 3, so minus 3 will be a negative number, and here also a negative number. Negative into negative will become positive. Negative into negative will become positive. So we will get two answers, that x should be less than minus 3 or x should be greater than 3. Any value after 3 and before minus 3 will always make this expression positive. So our answer will be minus infinite to minus 3 union 3 to infinite. Minus infinite to minus 3 union 3 to infinite. Okay. Minus infinite to minus 3 union 3 to infinite. Correct? Any doubt in this? Okay. So what we can do is, for solving this is not a good way to solve these types of question. For that we have to learn wavy curve method. What we have to learn? Wavy curve method. So this method is known as wavy curve method. What does this method states is very easy thing, and it will make our life very simple. How? So let's say we were given a question x square minus 9 is greater or equal to 0. So we splitted it as x minus 3 into x plus 3. Correct? We did up to this point. So what does wavy curve method say is, it has only three steps. Step number 1, make coefficient of x as positive. Make coefficient of x as positive. Okay? Split, or you can start from split in linear factors. Split in linear factors. Step 2 you can take, make coefficient of x as positive. If it's not positive, take minus sign common. If it's not positive, take minus sign common. Okay. Make coefficient of excess positive. Step 3 is start from right hand side above x axis positive, below x axis negative. So we have written only 3 steps here. Just listen it carefully. Okay, write these 3 steps. Just give me a minute. Yes, spelling mistake here, sorry. Start from RHS. Okay. So see here, step 1 we have done. Step 1 we have done, we have factorized it. Okay. Step 2 is also done. Coefficient of x is positive, 1 and 1. Step 3. Step 3 is to find our critical points. Step 3 is to find critical points. Okay. So how to find critical points? Critical points. Critical points means you have to put everything to 0. So x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x equal to 3. X plus 3 equal to 0. So x equal to minus 3. That's a very easy thing. So put each bracket as 0. So we will get 2 points. Minus 3 and plus 3. On number line, obviously minus 3 will come before plus 3. So we have to plot only these 2 points, not 0, not this, not that, not anything. We have to just plot minus 3 and plus 3. Now we have to start from RHS. Now we have to start from RHS. So RHS we started, we got 3, we dipped. Again we got minus 3, another point, we came up again. This is the wavy curve method. Above x-axis will be positive, this area will be negative, and this area will be again positive. So we have to find the positive area. So we have to find positive area. So we will start from left. So minus infinity to minus 3. So we got minus infinity to minus 3 union 3 to infinite. Union 3 to infinite. Okay. Okay. Let's solve one more problem. Let's say we are given x minus 1, x minus 3, x minus 5 is less than or equal to 0. Let's say we are given this thing. So what we will do, first we will see it's splitted, obviously it's splitted only. Is x positive? X is positive in all the brackets. Okay, we will do sums in which it will be negative also. Then we will put each bracket equal to 0 to find the critical points. So from this I will get 1, from this I will get 3, from this I will get 5. 1, 3 and 5. Okay. So we will start from right hand side top. So it will go like this, then this, then this. Okay. So anything above x axis will be taken as positive. This region will be negative. This will be positive and this will be negative. Okay. So we have to take less than 0. We have to take less than 0. So x belongs to what? Minus infinity to 1. This region was having less than 0. Union. Which part? 3 to 5. For 1 to 3 and 5 to infinity, it will be positive. So for 1 to 3 and 5 to infinity, it will be positive. Nice. So let's solve two more problems in which x is negative also. So let's say we are given minus x minus 2 and x plus 3 is greater or equal to 0. Correct? Minus x minus 2, x plus 3 is greater or equal to 0. So as we can see, it's split into two parts. It's split into linear parts only. But step number 2, here coefficient of x is negative. So I will take the minus sign common. So it will become x plus 2 into x plus 3 is greater or equal to 0. Now comes a small concept that when, let's say, x is greater than minus x is greater than equal to a, when we multiply it by negative sign, inequality will reverse. When I will multiply the expression by negative sign, inequality will reverse. Minus x will become plus x and a will become minus a, and greater than will become less than. Okay, greater than will become less than. So when I will multiply it by minus sign, it will become x plus 2, x plus 3 is less than or equal to 0. When I will multiply it by negative sign, inequality will reverse. Understood everyone? So we will have two critical points here. So if I will put this equal to 0 and this equal to 0, we are having two critical points. One is minus 3 and one is minus 2. So plus, minus, plus. We need the negative part now. So x belongs to minus 3 to minus 2. Minus 3 to minus 2. Okay. So Srijan is asking, should we start a graph from always from the right side? Yes, we should always start it from the right side, but you have to consider the first two steps very diligently, that we have to factorize it, okay, into linear factors, and after that also we have to see the coefficient of x is positive or not. If it's negative, take the negative sign common, multiply it by the inequality, and inequality will reverse. Okay. So there is a case in quadratic also in this. We have learned quadratic, that's why I am telling you this. So we have ax square plus bx plus c. Y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, correct. So we have seen the case that quadratic will have two roots, zero roots, or imaginary roots. So we have three cases. If I will draw it again, you will remember. So first case was it will have two roots. In this, A was positive and D was positive. So it will have how many roots? Two roots. Second case, if A is positive and D is equal to 0, if A is positive and D equal to 0, it will have how many root? One root, correct? And if A is positive, D is negative, it will have no roots. Roots means the graph cuts the x-axis. At how many points the graph cuts the x-axis. So in the first case, when D is positive, it cuts the graph in 2 points. When D equal to 0, it will cut the graph at 1 point, and when D is negative, it will not cut the x-axis. We all know this thing. This is the important case. This is the important case. Now, if we can see here, the graph is totally above the x-axis. So, this value is always positive because graph is above the x-axis, and if it's above the x-axis, y is positive. Y is positive means the quadratic expression will be positive. So we can say that if if ax square plus bx plus c is positive, that a quadratic expression is positive, we have two scenarios. It should have a positive and it should have discriminant less than 0. Okay, it should have a positive and discriminant should be less than 0. Everybody understood this thing? It should have A positive and discriminant less than 0. So this is the very important condition in this. A should be positive and discriminant should be less than 0. Correct? Similarly, we have 3 cases for the downward parabola also. In this, A is negative, D is positive because we are having 2 roots. Second case is A is negative and D equal to 0. Third case, it's totally lying below the x-axis. So it will be all negative here. It will be all negative here. Okay. It's all negative. So we can say that if ax square plus bx plus c is negative, then a is negative and d is also negative. Important thing. And vice versa is also true. Vice versa is also true means A is negative, D is negative, quadratic will be negative. Or if A is positive, D is negative, then the quadratic will be positive for all value of x. Okay. So please write this thing. I will make a note for this thing again. It's a very important thing.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the last session of this online CVC class. I hope you had a good time through this past 3 weeks. We had taken few topics through which we planned that we could illustrate that how the topics will be going on in the coming times. So today is the last day. So what's the exam time? What's exam time, sir? 2 to 4. Guys, exam time will be from 2 to 4, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, so that will be the exam time. Sorry. Now, since today is the last class, so rather than coming on to the topic or the cases, uh, I'll just share few general things with you regarding the mindset, what we need to maintain during these 2 years. So I'll just take maybe 10 or 15 minutes to illustrate and share with you few important things which I feel that during these 2 years might be helpful to you. So, number one, everybody first remember that this journey which we have started now is actually a 2 year long journey, right? Right now, you have opted for your subjects, but you will be appearing in the JEE mains or the advanced or the other exams at least 2 years from now, right? So what we have started now is a 2 years journey. Let's not be very specific about what comes in 11th, what comes in 12th. As a whole, the entire syllabus is equally important. There are no more important, there are no less important chapters. So we have to cover each and everything, right? So the first thing is that since it's a long journey, 2 years is not a very small time. So one thing is that we have to be consistent in our mindset. Consistent in mindset. Now, what do I mean by this mindset? See, uh, by the evening, suppose you pass a day, and by the evening, now I want you to think about that when you recollect how did the entire day go, just watch yourself that where was your mind involved for how long. See, once you start the preparations, of course there will be subjects, right? There will be topics coming from all these three subjects. So for most of the times those subject things should be there in the mind, but now see, we are being humans, and mind is not something very easy to control or tame. So by some instincts or by some habits, whatever you call that, the mind has a tendency to just keep drifting away in different directions. Sometimes your mind might be in a competitive state that, okay, they are doing better than me, I'm not able to do that much. Or maybe sometimes your brain might say, okay, have I taken the right decision? Am I at the right coaching place? Have I taken the correct subjects? Or then maybe in some moments when maybe you're not feeling very good, maybe you feel that, no, yeah, I made a mistake, this was not right. Again, in the next morning, you come up with a fresh state of mind and you again start putting your efforts back. Nutshell, I want to say that the mind will keep on switching between different states of mind. And what is needed in the beginning is that at least for first 2 3 months, your entire focus should stay on the subjects. Okay, only on the subjects. Each day you'll be coming to the class and some new topics will be given in front of you. New topics, new ideas, new concepts would be shared with you. So you will be supposed to understand them, work on them, and do the numericals based on them. So uh, for the first few months, your entire energy should stay associated with the topics. When I say associate with the topics, I mean to say try to keep away the idea of competition from your mind. Stop thinking that, okay, I am preparing for JEE Advanced or JEE Mains. Stop thinking what others are doing. Stop thinking that what happened with the paper this year. All these things are not going to help in your preparation. What helps in your preparation is your own effort, right? But I know, and I agree with that also, that this competitive feeling has a downside. It brings us into the state of that comparison. I'm doing this much and somebody else is doing like that. This is very difficult to avoid. I mean, for me it will be very easy to say कि मत सोचो इन सब चीजों के बारे में, don't think about others, think about yourself. It is very difficult to do, I understand that, but also understand that this is the only way. Tell me, just by worrying about the others or being aware that others are doing well, does that make any difference on your own effort? Will it make you better? So, your criteria is making yourself better. You have to make your skill sets better. You have to make your understanding, your subject, your application abilities. You have to work on them, and this happens slowly. Okay, this happens slowly. So in the beginning it is possible that in the weekly tests which we'll be having, some of you might not be able to get very good marks. Maybe you got 95% or 98% in class 10, and when you appear for the test here, maybe in some tests you might be getting just 50%, or maybe some unlucky ones may not be able to get even the pass marks. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Just take it as an indicator that whatever is required from us, how far we are from there. So your scores will be a reflector of the gap between what you are expected to be and what you are presently. So you will have to be practical, and when the marks are less, take it in that state of mind that you were able to come across those situations which were not known to you. If you are not able to solve a certain question in the test, of course it's a problem for you. If it's a problem for you, that means there are some concepts or some processes involved which you don't know. So take the question as somebody who has come to inform you that you don't know this thing. So you should be happy on that. Okay, you should be happy on that, that yes, one such concept came in front of me which I was not aware that do I know it or not, and through that question now I know that I don't know. Okay, so yes, we have to be very 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 simple in accepting this thing we don't know. We should have no inhibitions, no hesitations in accepting this thing that, okay, there are some things which we don't know. Since we don't know, that's why we have come here as a student. So The purpose for you people coming to associate with us is just because of learning some things which you don't have right now. So it is a learning process and it should stay like that only. So when I say mindset, your mind should not be occupied with those types of cyclic things which are just going to increase your worries, your tensions, your stresses. What he is doing, he got that much. What I can do, my test scores were so poor, right? So these types of state of mind may come. I'm not saying they will come, but they may come, and usually they do come with everybody. Okay, this is such a journey, this is such a preparation method that 100% students will face some challenges at some point of time. So now this exam is not only the test of your academic skills, it's not only the test of your subject knowledge, it is also actually a test of your mental endurance. How strong we are mentally, that will have a very big impact on your final scores. Why? Because when the preparation journey is so long, when the topics involved are not so easy, when every application demands undivided attention, it's not possible for everybody to go through with that. Okay, so yes, it needs guts, it needs endurance, it needs some substance to overcome that. If suppose on a certain day your teacher gives you suppose 20 questions in homework, you start doing them, and let us say you start the first 5 questions, and unluckily you could not get even one question right. Suppose that's the situation. You start first 5 questions and you don't get one single question right. Now here comes your mental strength. Would you be able to read the sixth question with the same fresh mind, or will the sixth question be affected by the problems which you faced in these first 5 problems? This will make a big difference. Please understand this. You will be always coming across numericals which you will find unsolvable in the beginning. Sometimes, maybe, yes, teachers might be read it, or you can Google, or you have many other sources to get them solved. But yes, most of the times you will observe that if you are able to stick to it, if you are able to devote your time on that, maybe sometimes it is required that you have to think about one single question for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and still you are not able to do that. You leave that question, now you start doing something else. Maybe in the evening you again start thinking about that. So, yes, this is what we are supposed to do. We have to learn to stick to ideas. Whenever we come across any problem, it should become a challenge for us that until we are clear with that, until we are unable to come out with a solution, we are not going to stop. So, yes, this thing is required that even if 5 first questions from the homework you are not able to do, you should take the sixth question with the equal fresh state of mind. Okay. See, these are the things which are helpful in the long run. You might not able be to follow all them from the beginning, but at least if you agree with me, I'm not saying that just yes, follow what I'm saying. I'm just revealing those aspects which I have seen happening with the students in my past 18, 20 years experience. So I'm just sharing with sharing that with you. But yes, one more thing. That is again a part of the mindset thing. You will have to take the final decisions in your life, including the studies also. Okay. Even suppose, let's say we are in a class and I'm teaching you something, I share some new topic, some new concept with you. If you don't agree with me, you should not say you agree. You have to protest, you have to show that no, this is not convincing. The ideas should be convincing to us. It's not like that we are supposed to follow what the books or the teachers are saying. You should have your mind, and only when you are convinced, when some part of your brain resonates with the topic or the concept which is going on, then only you will be able to master that. So yes, we have to master the topics. We don't have to just mug up the things and expel it during the exam. I'm sure you people are aware that the JEE exams are mostly numericals. And in the numericals, you can go for the solutions only when the remaining everything is very clear to you. When I say everything, I mean the theory, the practice, the exceptional cases, the special cases. Once you have done all of them and now they are in your brain, now you know how to deal with a certain situation, then only you'll be able to go with that. Okay. How many hours? There is a question that what should be the routine and how many hours in the holidays or festivals like? Uh, See, I was coming on to that point later, but okay, right now, if you have asked, yes, we have to uh, keep a very balanced state of mind, but also you should not try to make yourself totally serious or under stress. Uh, your own personality should not face any change here. Yes, we are taking something challenging, but it can be taken without the stress also, right? So, yes, we have to be very intense in our approach, but without tension. I hope you understand the difference between intense and tense. Okay. There is a difference between being intense and tense. For example, you are automatically intense when you are watching a very, what I can say, one of your favorite movie, or maybe you are seeing it for the first time. But mostly, if there is some hype, if you have seen the teasers and you know that it's going to be a good movie, so most probably when you are watching the movie, you are very intense. Why do I say you are intense? Once you come out of the theater, if somebody asks you about anything from the movie, almost 80% of the things are there in the mind. While you were watching the movie, you were not thinking about that. I have to remember the story, I have to remember the dialogues, I have to remember the songs. You don't go with any such aim in the mind. And still, once you come out, so many things stay with you. Why? Because you were all alert, you were all attentive. And yes, of course, if a movie is boring, if you don't find it good, the other side may also be possible that maybe you are sitting in the whole movie and don't you know anything about it. So the thing is, with what state of mind you are there, right? And being tense is something which happens. Suppose if I say that, okay, now I'll be teaching for 1 hour. After this 1 hour, there will be a test based on this 1 hour teaching, and that test will decide whether you go into IIT or not. So, suppose if I create a situation like that, that would put you into a state of tension, right? So that's what I'm saying, that being intense and being tense is different. We have to learn to be intense, but not tense. Should we quit our hobbies? No. No, Kritika, you should not leave your hobbies. You should never leave your hobbies. You should never leave your friends. You should never leave your touch with the social world around you. See, we are preparing for an exam, but we are not sending you to the exile. We are not going to be trained for commandos that you are going to serve on the borders, so learn to detach yourself from everything. No, not at all. All these things should stay there. The only thing is that you just have to keep a track of the time you spend on them. Okay, just keep a track of the time you spend on your hobbies, your friends, watching movies, or even the social functions. So, see, when you ask that what should be our routine during holidays, see, most of the times holidays will be coming only when there is some festival, right? So maybe suppose you are having 4 or 5 days vacations for a festival, and the festival will be just maybe on a 1 day or 2 day. So for those 2 days, yes, enjoy the festival. But just keep in mind that if suppose there are some times where you are not required or maybe some preparations are going on, then again, if you feel like you can spend your some time with the topics. But yes, I'm saying don't try to cut off yourself completely from everything. Yes, the social life should be there, but just you have to restrict that. Okay, if going into some function is not extremely necessary, you may have to avoid that. So yes, on a marginal level, yes, I will say that some cutoffs might be needed, because see, we have 24 hours in a day. So When we try to put everything in a day, maybe we will need more hours in a day. Okay. So, yes, enjoy the festivals, enjoy the time with the friends, do enjoy movies, do go for outings, no problem with that, but not out of proportion. Just keep a check that are you at the same pace at which the teacher is going in a certain subject. Your main challenge, or I can say your main duty, is to keep yourself updated with the topic which is going on in the class. If the teacher is on the chapter 6 right now, so your chapters 5 should be at least completed. When I say the chapter is completed, you should be understanding the topics, there should be the notes ready for them, you should have attempted at least 70-80% of the numericals given from them, and you should be able to appear in a test if it comes for that. Okay. How to stay motivated when our graph slightly goes down in weekly test? Yes, graphs might go down. It happens with everybody. It happens with everybody. So, number one, when you are saying how to stay motivated, I would rather say that let's not wait for either motivation or demotivation. Let's try to make yourself so strong that neither somebody can motivate you or demotivate you. If you take your charge in your hands, if you decide that I will decide what state of mind I have to keep, how good I am, how smart I am, how hardworking I am, that I know the best. Nobody else can tell me better than myself. So, yes, this is true. This is true. You only know yourself the best, and that's why even if the marks are going low, how will you get the motivation? I will say not motivation, I will use the word clarification. You should go for your paper analysis. If the graph is going down, go for a paper analysis. What do I mean by paper analysis? When the question paper is there, you appear for it. Suppose you get bad marks. Now you go home, open the paper and just see which questions you got right and which questions you got wrong. Now the questions which got wrong, try to figure out what went wrong for that question. Mostly 4 or 5 reasons may be there. Number one, of course, inadequate preparation. You did not prepare well, number one. Number two, you prepared well, but still that question was out of box. You just could not figure out how to visualize that. Number three, maybe you knew the concept, you knew the question, but when you were reading the question, maybe you misread the information. This becomes one of the very common happening mistakes during appearing in the test, that we read the data wrong. Why does it happen? I'll tell you. See, there are few very classic old problems which you will see in most of the texts, right? So maybe such a question might have been discussed in your class also. Your teacher might have discussed that, or maybe in your module you had that question. So you know that question. Fine. Now, when you go for the test, you find a question which is similar to that. You might find that it is exactly the same question. So the moment you find that it is the same question, now you come into a state of a little relaxation. I know this. So the moment you become relaxed, and at that time, sometimes it happens that our carefulness just goes through a little disturbance. Maybe we are not able to read just one single word which was different in the question given in the test, and that one makes a big difference. So this is a typical strategy adopted by the teachers to make the papers, that keep the topic similar, keep the idea of a numerical similar to a very common, very popular question, but bring a little twist. Now that little twist is usually missed. So yes, this may be the third reason for getting poor scores in the test. Fourth one may be that you did some calculation mistake. Usually in our numericals, there may be very much calculations required, and it's human. It's normal that you commit some calculation mistakes. And the last one is what we call as something like a silly mistake. Now, a silly mistake can be a very absurd type of calculation mistake, or maybe that, okay, you solved the question right, you got the correct option as a B. Once you solved it, you got the B option as the correct one, but in the OMR sheet, you darken the circle D. So this is what I'm saying. So when the marks are going low in the test, analysis is required. You have to go through your own performance and cross check that where things went wrong. Fine. So the things may be wrong anywhere starting from the preparation, the first class which you attended for the topic, till the test time. Everything in this duration, there can be different reasons which may be there for the poor score in the test. So when the test scores are poor, do a fair analysis. You should be brutally honest with yourself. That is one thing which is always required in the life, very more ever in this schedule. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. If you feel that I'm not very clear about this, then rather say that I'm not very clear about it, I'm in two minds. Be very clear, I don't understand. There is no reason just to convince ourselves, no, although I know 80% of it, just 5% is left. I know the most of it, only there are little lack of clarification. Nothing like that. Until the thing is crystal clear, until the thing is perfectly understood to you, it is not understood. So that's what I'm saying. Be honest about yourself. If you see a shortcoming in you, you should be the one to identify it and accept it. I'm not saying you have to just share it with everybody. Okay, I did bad at that. I did bad. No, nothing like that. It's all about you. It's all your mind. You have to just keep your mind balanced. Okay. So, guys, just a moment. Are we a failure if we don't get into IIT? I missed that question. I would like to take that. Just a moment. Kritika has asked, are we a failure if we don't get into IIT? Because everything ends there. Yeah, Kritika. No, no. The clear answer is no. You are not a failure if you don't get into IIT, but also don't call yourself successful even if you just go into IIT. Understand, guys, everything and everybody try to understand this thing. One test cannot decide the quality or the worth of you or your life. Life is a big, big, big gift to us. We all must respect it. And you cannot put a tag of success or failure on the basis of this one exam. You are not at all failures if you don't get into IIT, and you are also not successful if you get into IIT. So, my point is that please don't attach your entire success and failure on the basis of one exam. Sometimes, see what happens that we become so much engrossed in the process, we go into so much of detail that we stop looking at the bigger picture. Ask yourself, why are you trying to go into IIT? Just because it is prestigious, just because it gives you a social recognition. Is that all? And if that is all, then let me tell you, you are going to be in a big trouble from your state of mind in coming times. Only if clearing the exam becomes the target in the life, that itself becomes a problem, no matter whether you succeed or whether you fail. I'll tell you an example of a very famous tennis player, Boris Becker. I think he was German, Boris Becker. When I was somewhere in class 10 or 12, at that time he was number one in the lawn tennis and he won few those Wimbledon competitions. All the Grand Slams he won. So there was a time when he was all world rank number one. Boris Becker, world rank number one. And I think he got that number one title when he was either in his 20 or 21 of age. He was not even 22. I don't remember the exact age, but yes, he was not more than 22, for that I'm sure. So he became number one. Now, what happened after becoming number one? After a few months, he went into depression. He went into depression. Imagine After becoming world number one, in few months, he went into depression. Very later, he shared this thing that why did this thing happen? At that time, he was not matured enough or not ready to share that thing. But after many years, he shared. He said that while I was growing up, while I was 7, 8 years, 9 years in age, I saw all the major those tennis legends becoming world number one. There were seniors to him, of course. Whosoever were seniors, so he saw them, he was inspired them. And by the time he said, I acquired the age of 11 or 12, I had a goal that I have to be world number one. By the age of 11 or 12, he had this determination I have to be world number one. And almost in 8 to 10 years, he became world number one. But what was the tragedy? When he was thinking about getting being world number one, he made some imaginations, some abstract things about how it would feel to be world number one. He thought that once I become world number one, I'll be on the top of the world. My mind will be in such an exuberant state. Maybe I'll be happy every time. And nothing of that sort happened. He said that after winning the Wimbledon, I felt the same. After becoming world number one, I felt the same. So he started realizing that there is no difference. There is no much of difference before becoming world number one and after becoming world number one. There is no much of difference, and he just couldn't handle that. He started thinking that for past 10 years, I devoted every moment of my life in becoming number one, and it doesn't make a difference on me. I'm the same. He didn't feel any change. He said, I'm the same, and he couldn't bear it. He thought that what happened to all that struggle which I did? It did not bring my mindset into a very better situation. It didn't happen. So, guys, understand, if being world number one in the tennis, if that thing could not change the state of mind, do you think just by clearing the IIT, does it ensure that now for the future life, now your mind will be in the best possible states? Not at all. IIT exam is, you can say, just like a passing stone, a milestone which you have to clear, but that doesn't end your journey. The main reason why you should be going to IIT is that you get the best exposure to learning. In our India, IIT gives you the best situations to nurture yourself, to upskill yourself, and that gives you a situation that puts you into a location from where you can take a big leap. So, life doesn't end on IIT exam, rather, the life begins from there. Even if you succeed or even if you fail at that, let's not think that this is the end of it. Right? So please, everybody, don't take this exam up to such a level. Yes, it is really worrying for me that yes, you people at this young age, you are under that impression that will we be failures if we go through that. Guys, please don't fall into this thing of success or failure so early. It's my humble request. Really, I feel what I can say, I mean, in a very bad way about this current situation, that the social situations, the competitions, and everything becomes so large, it becomes so compelling that it becomes very difficult for you people to stay away from it. But guys, please learn. Okay? Gen Zs are famous for this thing only, that they have their own independent thought process. Let it be there. Let it be there. Okay? Listen from everybody, but take your own call. What I say may be my truth, it may be not your truth. So, whatever you see around you happening, if somebody is saying you, if you do this thing, such thing will happen, neither accept it nor reject it. Just analyze it, listen it. Maybe it is true, maybe it is not true, maybe it is true for somebody else, maybe it's not true for everybody. Right? So there is nothing like an absolute truth or absolute false. Some things may be true for me, not true for you. Whatever I'm sharing right now, many of you might agree with few points and you might not agree with few points. And I want that. I want that, yes, we should have a creative thinking. We should have an original thinking. because already it is very difficult to keep the original thought process because so many external inputs are coming all the time. So everybody, in your life, you will have to take your calls, you will have to take the decisions. So just take this preparation of 2 years as a facilitator. This preparation will certainly help you to become mentally strong. You will be enhancing your analytical abilities. You will be enhancing your emotional strength. Why emotional strength? I'm saying because yes, you will be coming across many situations in which even the emotions will be a part of that. Sometimes you feel very low, sometimes you feel very high, sometimes you have to make a compromise that you have to be there and you have to be there also, and you are only with your books. So, yes, this journey is going to enrich you in so many different ways. So, let this journey be in that way only. This is just trying to upskill your abilities. Whatever you're able to do now, think now, certainly you will be better off after this preparation. Okay. Uh, Now there are some questions that how to score good in physics or how to crack the NEET. Guys, see, there is no separate golden rule for any other exam. Every exam is asking for the subjects, whether it's the NEET or whether it's the IIT or physics in the IIT or maths in the IIT. It is the subject, right? So, number one, keep subjects your priority. And when I say subject, suppose today we are studying the Newton's third law, then your entire mind should stay with the Newton's third law. After the class, even when you are moving around, your eyes should search ki, where is the third law present in front of me? Where is it going on? So, involvement with the subject is the first thing. Being consistent is the second thing. Uh, and thirdly, as I said, that whether you are able to solve or not solve, just keep going with the same state of mind. Okay. Today's exams is Newton's laws of motion coming. Yes, Akshat. For the today's exam, we are having whatever we did till day before yesterday, right? That thing I shared in the yesterday's class also. Yes, Sadik. What's your doubt? Share it. Yeah. So just to summarize once again, keep a check of your mindset. Gradually, after 2 years, you have to be so mentally strong that you are capable to take your own decisions about your future academics. Okay. So, yes, in these 2 years, we are expecting that you achieve yourself. I mean, you should achieve that milestone where you are ready to pick up your future endeavors. Sadik is asking what is quantum entanglement. Singage or H.C. Verma. Okay. Sadik, before quantum entanglement, it will be better that if you first study the basics of quantum, how the quantum begins, what are the operators of quantum, how is quantum different. Quantum entanglement is a very fashionable and a very topic in fashion these days. You find it so much on Insta and every social media. At least don't look for the explanations there. We don't need any popular answers. See, when usually people will talk about any physics topic on the net, that should be different from how we speak about it. We should be able to speak when we understand the math of it. Until you know how a certain results come up, we should not be either supporting it or rejecting it. We should just accept that we don't know. Okay, so it's too early for you to understand this quantum entanglement. Take time, at least after 2 years, once you have done your JEE preparation. After that, maybe you can start going on quantum because even in these 2 years, we don't have quantum mechanics as a part of our curriculum. So it will not be possible for you to devote a good amount of time for these things. So yes, not only this quantum entanglement, it will be happening with many of you that so many different words somehow fascinate us. Entropy, the space-time warping, the curvature of the space, right? The time travel, the black holes. These are the epitomes of the problems which can exist, right? These are those topics in which even today's scientists are in disagreements. So imagine that we are in the beginning phase of understanding the science. We have to learn ABC. We don't know the vectors so far. You don't have studied vectors so far, and that's why at this phase, I mean, thinking about anything like, say, entropy or any advanced concept, refrain from that, wait for some time. All right. So, Harshita, today's test will be from 2 p.m. onwards. All right, it's from 2 to 4. So, guys, try to keep a balanced mindset, be consistent, keep watching yourself. Keep watching yourself that how is your brain occupied. At least there should be a time, maybe when you go to bed or whenever you are alone for 5 or 10 minutes, at that time you should see that for the whole day, how was my mind occupied. Mani H.C. Verma for theories and Singage for the numericals. So to begin with, I'll suggest your first option should be H.C. Verma. How many hours should we study in a day? Shoyab C. How many hours do we need will actually depend upon the student. But yes, normally there is a golden rule that if suppose a teacher has taught you something for say 1 hour, if the teacher teaches you for 1 hour, then you will require a self study of somewhere between 1.5 to 2 hours. That means double the time. Fine. So, if suppose you are coming to the college on a certain day, then you will be there in the college from 8 to 5. During this college also, you will be getting some self-study time. On an average, I can say about 3 to 3.5 hours you will be getting for the self-study in the college itself. And once you go home, if you are able to manage somewhere around 2 to 3 hours, that would be enough. Okay, when you just begin your session, once you first start coming to the college for initial few weeks, just try to keep relaxed. I'm not saying that follow this thing from the day one. Just stretch yourself gradually. Sitting from 8 to 5 in the classes itself will be a challenge for you. Right now, see, even our class is there for 1 hour. Ask yourself for how long are you being able to be 100% attentive with whatever is going on. So once you come to the class, the same situation will be here, that if the class duration is suppose say 90 minutes, and if the teacher is teaching for 90 minutes, then being attentive for those 90 minutes is very, very, very important, rather the most important thing. Whatever I have said so far, uh, don't listen to anything. At least listen one thing. Listen to your teachers as far as possible. When the class is going on and if the teacher is teaching, make a point that you don't miss a single word. That is one of the most important thing what you have to do. And for these remaining other questions, uh, your teacher will be able to tell you. See, there are some things which we can discuss right now when we are about to start. But when the journey is in the process, suppose after the June, then there comes a month of July, August, September, October. So you'll be in different phase of your preparation, and in those phases, what challenges you are facing and how you should address them. For that, always reach to your teachers. Okay, it will be a very common thing happening with everybody that if you try to emphasize on physics and maths homework, maybe chemistry will be suffering, or maybe if you do maths and chemistry, then maybe the physics work is left out. Trust me, it is a common thing. It happens with almost everybody, and it must happen. It must happen. Okay, a chaos has to also appear sometime so that you know how to handle that. If every time the things are very systematic, going as per the plan, then you will never learn that how to accommodate those chaos, how to accommodate those situations when things don't go as what you have planned. So when the plans fail, then how to respond, how to again take the jump and start proceeding, that also we have to learn. So yes, it's a very common thing that to strike a balance between the tasks given for these physics, chemistry, maths, if it happens, yes, talk with your teachers. Sometimes your teachers might say, okay, for this time, even if suppose I'm a physics teacher, if you come to me in the month of, say, July and you ask me something, maybe my answer will be different. If you come to me in the month of September and if you ask me the same thing, my answer may be different. Why? Because I know that in the July or August, what topics are going on in chemistry and math. And I also know that in the month of October or September, what topics are going there. So I know that along with the physics, what else you are supposed to do. You people will have to go through these three subjects simultaneously. So yes, when it comes to strike a balance between them, it will be better if you consult your teacher. So listen to the teachers, try being attentive in the class, and just try to do the task on the daily basis. Consistency is the key thing here. See, it's always a mix of two things. Your success will be a mix of these two things, talent plus consistency. Okay. Now, see, there is no measure of talent. Directly, you can't express what is more talented, what is less talented. We can keep arguing about that. Anyways, all of us have a certain share of our talent with us. Everybody has that. Now, what we can work upon is the consistency. Consistency in our mental state, consistency in coming to the college, consistency in listening to the teachers, consistency in doing the homeworks, consistency in appearing for the test, and consistency in doing a review when things are either going bad or good, no matter how they are going. We should have that ability to just consistently keep on checking that. Okay, and remember, I am saying check yourself. I am not saying criticize yourself. Don't criticize yourself, it won't work. Self criticism becomes a habit somehow, but it is not fruitful in the long run. So I am saying review yourself, but don't criticize. You have to maintain yourself in some high spirits. Until you think good about yourself, good things might not happen to you. So please refrain from such thoughts that I am a failure or I took a wrong decision or I was done by that thing. See, such things will be always present. There will be so much negative around us all the time that you don't need to have even look for that. Automatically things will be drawn to you. Now your skills are needed to keep them away, right? And stick to yourself. That's what we are looking for. Is it important to take the test, sir? Yeah, certainly, guys. Test is important. Else, how will you know that have you understood or not? See, now the understanding is not just like the understanding of the statement. We have discussed Newton's third law. Okay, but how far do you understand it? And when an application situation comes, how are you going to address that? These are two different things. So until you go for the tests, you won't be able to understand that have you actually understood the thing well or not. So yes, our self-assessment is necessary, but not every time. I'm not saying that every time you should be putting yourself onto the test. We can at least spend some time on the TV and mobile or playing with family. Of course, sure, you can do everything. I said just keep a track of the time. Yes, I'm saying you don't have to isolate. If you change yourself completely drastically, you won't be able to even perform well here in these things also. You can't do that. You don't have to cut yourself. I'm just saying keep it in the limits. Okay? Gradually, you have to try to shift your interest towards the subjects. And guys, trust me. Trust me on this. Yes, of course, our subjects are less interesting. Mobiles are more interesting. No doubt about that. No matter the best teacher comes, he can't be a better entertainer than the worst of the stand-up comedian on the stage. Right? The most comic teacher, the most humorous teacher will be worse than the worst stand-up comedian who is standing on the stage just to make you laugh. So no doubt about that, our subjects, our topics may not be that interesting as what the other contents are, but also one thing, understand, and this is totally true. I have tested it, and with so many students, I have cross-checked this thing. Uh, if you talk to friends, you enjoy. You play with them, you enjoy. You do mobile games, you enjoy. With family, we enjoy. There are so many things which we enjoy. What we don't enjoy is doing a numerical. If you pick up a numerical, you are not able to do that. You find it's a tough numerical. You try it again. You again can't do that. You try it the third time. You again can't do that. You leave it. Now, you are not with your pen paper. You are thinking about the numerical. And again, you come back after 1 hour because it's bothering you कि मेरे को answer नहीं आ रहा है. You again come back. You again start doing it. You again spend half an hour, 40 minutes on that. And maybe now you get it. Now, if you get it, trust me, there is nothing more satisfactory than that feeling which you will get once you solve such question. Trust me. Trust me, and at least try it once. This is one thing I'm saying, try at least once. When you are stuck up on any numerical, okay, on such a numerical which you are not able to do in your first attempt, maybe second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt, and you feel कि नहीं यार मेरे को तो नहीं आता ये, I'm not able to do that. Along with that state, along with the acceptance, I can't do that, you are still trying it. You are still trying it, and now if you are able to solve that, trust me, there is nothing more satisfying than that feeling of solving that one question. I still remember I appeared in class 12 or the college so many years back, but at least there are a few situations which I remember so clearly, especially in college. On something I was stuck up for almost half of the day. I woke up at morning 6 or 6:30. I was on the table chair from 7:30 till 2 or 2:30. I was almost non-stop studying, working on some problem, and I was feeling like a stupid. यार ये भी नहीं आ रहा, ये भी नहीं आ रहा, कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा. So yes, those 6-8 hours were a very messy state of mind for me. Somehow at 2 or 3 somewhere I got it. I could understand it, and that feeling is still there with me. I'm sharing it with you, and still those feelings are there. So yes, beta, studies are not as interesting, but there cannot be anything else which is more satisfying. So, yes, as you are growing, try to understand between these two things what is a better thing to go for, a quick entertainment or a deep satisfaction in the state of mind which stays for a long time. If that deep satisfaction stays in your mind, you will be able to laugh on silly jokes. Isn't it a better thing? If you are able to laugh on the silly jokes that you can do only when your mind is so empty, you are so satisfied, you are so content, this is what we should be looking for. So yes, no need to cut off mobile, no need to cut off family, friends, movies, nothing. Just keep them in the limit. Uh, Take a target that we have to be just along with the teacher. Whatever the things are being given, that we have to follow. And after that, yes, do spend time on them. And also, yes, it's good that we are having these questions. I would like that you also try to keep answering this question within 2 to 3 months. I'm not saying that right now everybody start thinking what will be good for you. Once the process starts, once you start coming to the college, let 2 months pass, let 5 or 6 tests be conducted, then you yourself would be able to understand that what we have to do. सर आपके बचपन के बारे में बताओ. बच्चों अभी देखो ज़्यादा अपने पास में वक्त है नहीं, इसीलिए अभी मैं तो वही बात कर सकता हूँ जो इन जनरल होगा. Once you people come to the physical class, तब कभी अगर होगा तो ज़रूर बात करेंगे. Nice of you are asking for that. Yes, Harshita, it's our last class in the online format. Now onwards, we will be meeting in the physical classrooms, maybe if you are at the center, or otherwise, yes, it's our last class. Okay. Yes, I'm in Madhapur. How to adjust the environment when it is our first time going to the hostel? Yeah, hostel going is also something very difficult to adjust with. Uh, when you're going to the hostel, if you're prepared from the beginning that if something is changing, that is going to keep us little disturbed, right? You can't feel comfortable in a new place. So before you go, let's be prepared that okay, a little discomfort is going to stay with me. So if you are aware of that, okay, I'll be away from my parents, miss karenge, true. You won't get the food of your mother, so the food will be different. So again, yes, something will be there. New people will be around you, and we know the nature of every person is a different nature. So yes, there may be few people who are very quickly befriending us, and there are some people who are creating troubles for us. Go with the mindset that yes, few things are going to be changing, and changes are little difficult to adjust. It just takes time. Okay. uh, with most of the students, if I tell you, including boys and girls, not a specific statement, mostly I have seen whenever I have a discussion with my some old students, when they were leaving for the hostel, for the first week or maybe for first 2 weeks, they were missing their parents. They might be calling them, uh, रो भी रहे होंगे, कई बार रोना भी आ जाता है. No problem in that. Nothing bad in crying. So this crying sessions and missing parents, that happens for 2 weeks, and all the time they're waiting कब छुट्टी हुई कब घर जाएंगे. But those same students, after 6 months, at times they don't want to go home. Understand? After 6 months, most of them don't want to go home. I'm telling you a statistical fact. Statistical means with majority of the people, whatever I have heard from. So I'm sharing their experience. They don't want to go home because yes, you will be having friends of your age group. You will be having people to discuss about those things which matter for you the most. So this is a changing phase, better. Although life is always changing, but the age where you are in right now is a time when the changes are more drastic. The changes will be more pronounced, or everybody will be able to see changes in you within coming 6 months or 8 months or 1 year. You yourself would have realized that what you were in class 8 and what you are now in class 10. In last these 2 years, how you people have matured up, how your skill sets have increased, how socially you have made yourself different. So you have seen your changes in the last 2 years, last 4 years. But trust me, remember these words. You will everybody observe that in the coming 6 months or 8 months, you will be maturing up much more than what you did in last 2 years. So this is something what I can say. Maybe it's a biological process, or I don't know what to call it exactly. But yes, it do happens that from 10th onwards, at least for these 3, 4, 5 years, you are, I can say, in on such a spree where you can give any shape to yourself. So yes, changes will be coming, and those changes are very necessary to keep yourself flexible, to keep yourself growing. Yes, these changes are needed. And yes, this maturity, all we have to learn that, okay, if it's a discomfort of few days, let's go with that. Okay, let's give it a chance, and don't take these things too seriously. I told you, please everybody be intense, not tense. Please don't associate success or failure so easily on the basis of these exams only. It's a life given to us by God Almighty. Let's feel blessed, and let's try to do the best with it. Have a good life. All of us should have a good life, and we should be able to influence the people around us also in a positive way. Okay. So wishing everybody all the best for your upcoming life, your future endeavors. I wish you all get a very good future life. Fine. You get your dream colleges, you get your dream jobs, you get your dream lifestyle. So that's it from my side. All the best, guys. Bye bye.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, we are going to continue the practice of the questions which we started yesterday. That is questions based on the calculation of number of electrons or calculation, number of atoms. Along with that, simply I'll give idea on like type of bonds, covalent bond and ionic bonds. Okay, and how to calculate the number of covalent bonds in a molecule. Right, simple. Naman Singh, that's the thing I'm saying. I'll give you an idea on the topic so that you can go easily for the examination. Got it, Mr. Naman Singh? Yeah, I hope so. It reached. Let's start, guys. Calculation of number of electrons in a molecule. How to find? Find the number of electrons in 32 grams of methane. Find the number of electrons in 8 grams of sulfur trioxide. Exam starts at regarding the test is it is only chemical bonding. See clearly that syllabus is mentioned to you. Again, I will repeat to you. All the topics are there for you guys, and 11 questions are there from the current topic like physical parameters, mole concept, and also having chemical bonding. Chemical bonding 3 questions are there. I will give simple brief idea on the topic. Since you said that the topic didn't over, exam starts at 2 p.m. and it ends at 4 p.m. And along with that, 4 questions from the last to last topics like initial topics what you learned like atomic structure, basic parts you learned, no periodic properties, all those topics will come. Okay, so see here, how to find this? They are giving you like this: finding mole. How to find mole? Mole is equal to mass by molecular mass. It is a task one. Then number of molecules, number of moles into Avogadro number, number of electrons. Number of electrons is equal to number of molecules into number of electrons in a molecule. In a molecule. What is that? See here. First one they gave you number of electrons in 32 grams of methane. Find mole mass by methane molecular mass is how much? 16. 2 moles. Number of molecules 2 into Avogadro number. Number of electrons, number of molecules into number of electrons. CH4. How many electrons are there? Carbon atomic number 6. There are 4 hydrogens. So 10. So answer is 20 into Avogadro number. That is 12.044 into 10 to the power of 24. Same methodology applied for second one. Apply for second one also. Find the number of electrons present in 8 grams of sulfur trioxide. Do it. Same methodology. First find mole, then find number of molecules, then finding the number of electrons, that is equal to number of molecules into number of electrons present in SO3. SO3. Sulfur atomic number is 16. Oxygen atomic number is 8. Yeah, today's last class, Mr. Varun Reddy. Correct. Shall I take next page now? Ready everyone? Shall I take next page? Now, first find mole. Mass by molecular mass. Mass given is 10 grams. sulfur trioxide molecular mass is 80. Mass given is 8 grams, I think, so not 10 grams. 8 by 80. 0.1. Number of molecules is equal to 0.1 into Avogadro number. Number of electrons is equal to 0.1 into Avogadro number into sulfur trioxide. How many electrons are there? Sulfur atomic number is 16. 16 plus oxygen 8. So total how much? 16 plus 24. How much total? 40. So it will be how much? 4 into Avogadro number. Okay, approximately how much? 24 into 10 to the power of 23. Anyone of you got the same answer? Yeah, good. Himanshu Goyal. Anyone else? Dinesh, 3.2, no ma. Check once. Got it? Nikita, right? Got it. Nice. 24. Like accurate value you are giving Fatima. I am giving you approximately 24. After decimal small value, no, I have taken round number, round figure. 24 into 10 to the power of 23. Yeah. Do one more question, one more example of ions which I gave you yesterday before leaving, and this one, and polyatomic ion. 3 types of questions I am giving you. Before slide, check once again. .1 moles, no? See here. 0.1 moles into Avogadro number, 0.1 into Avogadro number into 40, 4 into Avogadro number. Okay, so 4 into 6 into 10 to the power of 23, 24. Yeah. Now see guys, I am giving you 3 types of questions. Try yourself. First one is find the number of electrons in, find the number of electrons in 1.6 grams of sulfide ion. Second one, find the number of electrons in 3.4 grams of ammonia molecule. Third one, find the number of electrons in 60 grams of carbonate ion. 60 grams of carbonate ion. Try guys. Try yourself. Take 30 seconds time. Try yourself guys. I will be waiting for you. 3 questions you are practicing. And then we'll go to chemical bonding. Little bit knowledge I'll give you how to understand the topic. Sulfur mass, atomic mass is 32. Jitesh, 32. Oxygen is 16 atomic mass. Sulfur is 32. Okay. Now see here. First one, number of electrons. Find mole. Mole is equal to mass by ionic mass of sulfur. What is ionic mass of sulfur? Same atomic mass only. 1.6 by 32. It is how much? 10 to the power of minus 1 by 2. It is 0.05 moles. Then number of ions is equal to 0.05 into Avogadro's number. Number of electrons is equal to number of ions into number of electrons in ion. In ion, how many electrons are present in ion? Sulfur atomic number is 16. It is minus 2 means plus 2, 18. So total how much? 18 into 5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 into Avogadro number. So what is the value? We can write this as 90 into 10 to the power of minus 2 into Avogadro number. 9 into 10 to the power of minus 1 into Avogadro number. Just leave it like this. Anyone of you got the same answer? Anyone of you? Naman Singh? Himanshu Goyal? Okay, nice. Got it? Nice. Then second one. B. Today's topic. What we learned. Solve it. Solve it, guys. Five 5.42 into 10 to the power of minus into 10 to the power of 23. Correct only. Because we are having a 10 to the power of minus 1. 54 something we are going to get. Correct only. Correct. Next. Solution. How to find this now? Mole is equal to mass upon molecular mass 3.4 by ammonia molecular mass how much? Nitrogen is 14, hydrogen is 1, so total 17. So it is how much? 0.2. Number of molecules? Number of molecules 2 into 10 to the power of minus 1 into Avogadro number. Number of electrons? Number of molecules into number of electrons present in a molecule. How many electrons are present in ammonia? Atomic number of nitrogen is 7 plus hydrogen is 1. There are 3 hydrogens, total 10. So answer is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 1 into Avogadro number into 10. So answer is 12.044 into 10 to the power of 23. Anyone of you got the same answer? Very good. There Fatima, very nice. Yes, Dhanush, nice. Last part also complete, guys. Last part also. Here, what is the molecular air ionic mass you have to take for carbonate ion? How much it will be? Carbon is 12, oxygen is 16. So it is total 60. Find mole. Find it, guys. Do yourself, everyone. Shoaib, okay. Third one, you are saying 32 into Avogadro number. I will check once. I will check. So mole is equal to 60 by ionic mass of carbonate 60. 1. Number of ions. Number of moles into Avogadro number. Number of electrons. Number of ions into number of electrons in ion. In carbonate, how many electrons are there? Carbon 6. 3 into 8, 24. Minus 2 means plus 2. Equal to how much? It will be how much? 24 plus 24 plus 6 at 30, 32. So answer is number of electrons is equal to Avogadro number into 32. Very good, Shoaib. Correct answer. Shoaib, correct answer, mister. 32 into Avogadro number. Correct. Nice. Himanshu, what is answer? 32 into 6. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, nice. Very good. Anyone else? Anyone else who got the answer? You can write in the chat so that I can understand, guys. Sir, I solved. Okay. Likita, very nice. Anyone else? 192. After solving, you will get 192. 32 into 6 times. I think so, same. Right now, right guys. So, more, like 3 more questions like revision, what like yesterday's topic. Then we will go to the chemical bonding, differentiating between the chemical like covalent bond and ionic bond. Just understanding about the topic we are going to do. Okay, let's see, guys. 3 questions, 3 models I am giving you. Solve it. Find the volume occupied by 4.4 grams of carbon dioxide gas. Second one, find the mass of 5.6 liters of sulfur dioxide. Third one, find the mass of 12.044 into 10 to the power of 22 molecules of methane, CH4, methane. Try guys. Take 30 seconds time maximum. Don't take much time. Just understand the questions. Everything is based on the flow chart which we discussed earlier. Just understanding the question is important. Where we are in the part of the flow chart, that will give some idea for you. Okay. Now see the first question. They're asking us to find the mass here. First one, find the mass. Second one is finding the mass if volume is given. Finding the volume. Third one is finding the mass again. Now check out how to do it. First one, solution. If volume, they're asking us if they give you mass, find mole, mass by molecular mass. Volume occupied is equal to mole into 22.4 liters. Solve it. Solve it. This we learned yesterday, mister. 2.4 liters, huh? 2.4 into it will be 22.4 liters into 22.4. Now see this first one. Mole is equal to mass by molecular mass. 44.4 by, it is 4.4. What is the molecular mass of carbon dioxide? 44. It is how much? 0.1. Now mole into 22.4 liters. Answer is 2.24 liters. How many of you got the correct answer? Fatima, correct. Himanshu Goyal, nice. Parthiv, nice. Nice. Jitesh, Pranavi, Janvi, very good guys. Very nice, very nice. Very nice, very nice. So do the second one, solve it now. How to solve this question? See here, they gave you volume, we are going to find the mass. Reverse you have to go. Reverse. In the flow chart, yeah, sir once explain how molecular mass has got, sir. Molecular mass, we are using, atomic masses. C plus 2 into 12 plus 2 into 16. It is 44. First, we learned about the molecular mass calculations only, Mr. Charit Reddy. Okay. Okay, you completed already, Shoaib? Nice, you will check now. Say this. How to go from volume to mass? Mole. First find mole. Mole is equal to whatever volume they are giving you. I am using the flow chart only. Given volume by 22.4 liters. Reverse we are going to this. We are going reverse to this. We are finding mole now. Mole is equal to volume by 22.4. So it will be how much? 5.6 divided by 22.4. It is equal to 1 by 4. Then mass is equal to mole into molecular mass. See here, mole is equal to mass by molecular mass. So mass is equal to mole into molecular mass. Reverse. Now what is the value you are going to get? 1 by 4 into sulfur dioxide molecular mass. How much? 32 plus 32, 64. This is the molecular mass. So what is the value you'll get? 16 grams. I will check the chart now. 16 grams. Mayor Fatima, nice. Imanshu Goyal, good. Janvi, Jitesh, very good guys. Right? Parthiv, not 11, not 11. Karthik Ras, Kritika Ras, no, not 11. Okay, not you. Danush got 11, right. Kritika 16 only. Correct, guys. Do the last question now. Sorry, I said first. Okay, fine. Try it. Good. Now see the last question. Find the mass. How to find the mass now? We already learned how to find the number of molecules. We are going to the reverse of the concept what we learned. How to do it now? I am doing according to the flow chart which I explained earlier. Same concept, no change in the concept at all. First find the mole. How to find mole now? Mole is equal to number of molecules divided by Avogadro number. Reverse we are going. Earlier we found number of molecules is equal to mole into Avogadro number. Number of molecules 12.044 into 10 to the power of 23 by 22 by 6.022 into 10 to the power of 23. So what is the value you'll get? 2. We got 2 moles. We got 2 moles first. Then next what you have to find? We have to find the mass. Mass is equal to mole into molecular mass. What is the molecular mass of methane? Methane molecular mass 12 plus, there are 4 hydrogens, 12 plus 4, 16. Now substitute that 2 into 24. So what is the answer? So 2 into 16. What is the answer? It is 32. Let's check. How many of you got the correct answer? Right, Jitesh, Shoaib, Danush, Fatima. Good, good, nice guys, nice. Nice. You're doing very well. Yeah, you are correct. Actually, it is 0.2 moles. So it is 3.2 grams. You are correct. It is 0.2 moles. 10 to the power of 22, no, not 23. Very good, correcting me. Sai Rishi. 3.2, correct. So give more questions, sir, but we'll do, okay, fine. I want to, okay, I will give 2 more questions, guys. Since you said that part didn't complete, no, chemical bonding, just I want to give idea on the chemical bonding. First, we will do chemical bonding, small part, like how to differentiate between, what is that, ionic bond and covalent bond. Like that, we'll get some idea on the topic. Okay, let's start now, guys. Shall I move on now? Now, what is meant by chemical bonding? Or what is a chemical bond? Bond which holds the atoms present in a molecule. Okay, the force of attractions existing between the atoms in a molecule is known as chemical bond. The forces of attractions which holds the atoms in a molecule is known as a chemical bond. Simply, I am not going to give much details on this topic. I don't want to go too deep into the topic. It is attractive forces which holds the atoms of molecule together in a compound, both same guys. The force of attractions which are existing, which holds the atoms together in a molecule. Yeah, same. They are existing between them, right? So first of all, why bonding will be forming? We are just going to have a brief idea on the topic. First of all, why bonding is forming? Bonding is forming to attain stability. Which link, guys? Can you send a class link again? See, yeah, fine. Now listen carefully. Why bonding is forming? Bonding is formed to attain stability. There is a standard for us. What is the standard? Noble gases or inert gases, they are not forming any bond. This is an earlier concept. They are highly stable. Why they are highly stable? Because of their configuration called as octet configuration. So based on that, Lewis explained a rule called as octet rule. According to octet rule, elements attain stability by forming bonding, and they attain, by attaining octet configuration, means getting 8 electrons in the valence shell. So very easy things you have to keep in the mind. That is why the elements are attaining stability, to why they have to make a bond to attain stability. On what basis we are saying this? We are having a standard, that is inert gases or noble gases. Inert gases or noble gases, they are highly stable. They are having 8 electrons in the valence shell and they are not forming any bond. This is earlier assumption for us. So Lewis said that any element attains stability by gaining 8 electrons in the valence shell or by getting 8 electrons in the valence shell. This can be achieved in two ways. One is by forming a covalent bond, and second one is by forming an ionic bond. How the covalent bond is forming? Just I'll write the point so that it will be clear and we can move on. According to Lewis, elements attain stability by having 8 electrons in the valence shell or last shell, valence shell or last shell. This can be achieved. This can be achieved mainly in two ways. In two ways. What are they? Mainly in two ways. They are, first one is formation of covalent bond. Formation of covalent bond. Second one is formation of an ionic bond. It is also known as electrovalent bond. Simple terminology I am giving you. Any element no, day-2 bond is a special case of covalent bond. It is also called as coordinate covalent bond. It is a special case, not needed. Just what is too important, that only we are going to discuss, so that we should be in point right now. Briefly, I want to cover the part for you. Brief explanation for you. Let's take the formation of a covalent bond. Okay. If you are done with this, anyone copying, you let me know. Once you are done, I will take the next page and I'll explain. Anyone? Shall I move on? Done. Very good. Now see this. Covalent bond and its characteristics. Covalent bond and its characteristics. How the covalent bond is formed? A bond formed by sharing of electrons between the non-metals, okay. For example, we are taking H2, N2, O2. These are homo molecules, diatomic molecules. CH4, NH3, H2O, hetero molecules. Okay. SR Nagar. Akhilesh, SR Nagar. Test link will be sent to you. Don't worry at all, Himanshu. Harshita, na? They will send you. No problem at all. They will send you. Okay. Now, right. Okay. What are the characteristics? What are the characteristics of covalent bond? Melting point and boiling point. They have low melting point and boiling point than ionic compounds. Second one, electrical conductivity. They are insulators or bad conductors. Physical state. How will be the physical state of these compounds having a covalent bond? They can be gases like fluorine, chlorine, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. Liquids like bromine. Solids like phosphorus, sulfur, methane. Also, we can take gas. These are the physical states. Directional nature of the bond. I'll explain you this in the next page. I know Telugu. Yeah, I'll explain. I can't go deep because just I'm giving you brief idea. Okay, not too deep. Just I'll give idea on the topic. Yes. I'll explain. If you are ready, I will explain about the bonding. Then we will know about the directional nature of the bond. Shall I move on now? On what base segregation is happening means what? I didn't get your point. How their bonds are classified? depending how the bond is forming, based on that we are disaggregating them. Now, if you're taking, we are learning about the directional nature of the bond now. Okay, so in order to know that how the bond is forming, we are going to see here. For example, if you're taking hydrogen molecule formation, hydrogen configuration, atomic number is 1, its configuration is 1s1. In order to attain stability, how many electrons it requires? In order to attain stability, means which configuration? Duplet requires one more electron. So by sharing of electrons between two hydrogens, this is one hydrogen, this is another hydrogen. Now by sharing of electrons between them, see this is sharing of electrons. What is formed? Hydrogen molecule. Okay. Sharing of electrons takes place between two hydrogens. Simplest form, duplet configuration. I don't know about the branch, how like Kritika, yeah, depending upon maybe marks or some criteria, depending upon the branch, I have no idea on that. So let's concentrate on the topic now. We will take more examples. Example 2, let's take O2 formation. Oxygen atomic number is, what is oxygen atomic number? 8. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So in valence shell 6 electrons are there. In order to attain octet configuration, it requires how many electrons? 2 more electrons. So by sharing 2 pairs of electrons between oxygens, they are attaining stability. This is one oxygen atom, this is another oxygen atom. Say this, in the valence shell of oxygen, this is the valence shell. Let's assume this is valence shell of oxygen. This is valence shell of oxygen. This is valence shell of another oxygen. How many electrons are there in the valence shell? 6 electrons are there. 6 electrons are there. Now sharing of electrons between them. How the electrons are shared? See here. 2 pairs are shared between them. Now what is formed as a result of that? Oxygen molecule. After sharing of electrons, now check how many electrons are there on each oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons, 8 electrons. Each bond contains 2 electrons. Okay, 2 pairs are shared between them. Please check this. Now, what is the siding I explained you here? Directional nature. What do we mean by directional nature? Whenever we are writing a covalent bond between the two atoms, we have to write the bond between them. We call this as directional nature. Ionic bonds are not directional in nature, whereas covalent bonds are directional in nature. But it's simply like whatever is important for you, whatever can be learned easily in the, didn't get it? Okay, Karthik, Kritika Ras, for example, Kritika, see here, after sharing the electrons between them, we are writing the bond or not, Kritika? Or just we are leaving like that? Yes. If you are writing the bond between them after sharing the electrons, that is covalent bond. If you are not writing the bond even after the formation of bonding between them, that is ionic bond. Ionic bond, no need to write the bond between them, it is non-directional in nature. They are only attractive forces. That is the difference between the covalent bond and ionic bond. Simplest terminology. Okay. Now we are going back to the previous page. See this. Directional nature. What do you mean by directional nature? When a bond is formed, a covalent bond is formed between two atoms, it has to be shown. It has to be shown. We call this as directional nature. If a bond is formed between by sharing of electrons between the two atoms, it has to be shown. That we call it as directional nature. Covalent bonds, covalent compounds are formed by sharing of electrons between non-metals. Ionic bond is formed by complete transfer of electrons from metal to non-metal. Okay. Just one more point I want to add in the basic learning of the covalent bond. Once you are done, please let me know. Okay, now see this. Covalent compounds directly I am taking ionic compounds, brief learning now. I am not explaining about the polarity right now. It will take little bit time for you. Okay, so better I will go directly to the ionic compounds. See here. How the bond is formed in the case of ionic compounds? Ionic compounds are also known as electrovalent compounds. Okay, a bond formed by sharing of electrons between transfer of electrons from metal to non-metal. How can you say metal to non-metal? Metals example we can take first group metals like lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Second group metals like beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium. These are metals. We can also take D block, non-metals. Group 14, 15, 16, 17. Mainly 15, 16, 17. Nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, halogens. Okay. How are the characteristics? Metal should have, how should be the metal? Low ionization enthalpy. Okay. Jitesh, what do you mean? So there is also day two. Yeah, I know about day two bond, but see, I told you know just briefly we are having some idea in the time limit what you are having right now. I am giving an idea on the topic. If time permits, I'll go back there. I'll give you explanation on the day two bond also, Janvi. Okay, na? Now, see here. What do you mean by ionization enthalpy? Anyone can mention what do you mean by ionization enthalpy? the amount of energy required to remove an electron from the outermost shell of neutral gaseous atom. If you are, if you are taking an atom from the last shell, if you are easily removing the electron, just easily removing the electron, then it is having low ionization enthalpy. Metals should have low ionization enthalpy. That is the characteristic property of the metals. If they are having low ionization enthalpy, they can form cations easily. Similarly, before slide I will show. Before slide I also will show. Metals should have low ionization enthalpy. Then similarly, non-metals. How should be non-metals? They should have high electron affinity. High electron affinity. High electron affinity. Non-metals are having high electron affinity. Metals are having low ionization enthalpy. Electronegativity is different. Yes, it is also characteristic property, but they have to accept the electrons. No, there are two types of terminologies involved here: electronegativity and electron affinity. For example, Jitesh, if two brothers are there, if they are sharing 10 rupees between them, one brother is more stronger than the other brother. If he is dragging the money towards him, the strong brother, that is electronegativity. But what is electron affinity? The amount of energy released when electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral gaseous atom means taking, that's all, not dragging. Dragging and taking are not equal. If that electrons are totally accepted by the non-metal, if they are entering into the valence shell of non-metal, that is known as electron gain enthalpy. Electronegativity means just dragging. So according to the portion they gave us, it is only chemical bonding and physical parameters. No, clearly mentioned in the syllabus that you are having mole concept also. It is there. Okay, whatever we learned, all the questions, definitely they are there. 100% they are there. How to find number of electrons, volume calculation, number of molecules, number of atoms, which of the following is having more number of atoms, which of the following is having volume similar to the, like one sample I will give you. The volume occupied by that sample will be equal to which of the following. Okay, yeah, correct, Janvi. The tendency of an atom to attract the electrons in a compound, it is electronegativity. Electron affinity means the amount of energy released when electron is added to the outermost shell of neutral gaseous atom. Okay, believe me, you can write. I told you, no, clearly I gave, maybe they missed the part there, but it is there for you for the exam. Okay. Then let's move on with the topic. Characteristics. How are the characteristics? Characteristics are given. Melting point and boiling point. Please keep in the mind, they have high melting point and boiling point when compared to the covalent compounds. Solubility, they are soluble in a polar solvent like water. A polar solvent like water. Electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity. Now, anyone in the class, you tell me, guys. Sodium chloride. I will show just a second, Suma Harika. Just 1 second. You also please respond to me. If you are taking sodium chloride in the solid state, sodium chloride in the molten state, or in the aqueous solution, among these two, which will have electrical conductivity? Which will have electrical conductivity? Solid state. No, Janvi. In solid state, if it is a good conductor, we won't even survive. Okay. In aqueous solution or in the molten state, they are good conductors of electricity. Yeah, in the liquid state. Now, anyone in the class tell me why they are good conductors in that state? What is the responsible factor? It is not good conductor in the solid state, Naman Singh, correct? Why it is a good conductor in the liquid state in the aqueous solution? What is the reason for that? I am giving you free electrons, no ions. Mobility of ions. Ions are moving, ions. Free electrons in the case of metals. Just if you are taking a metal, iron, metal, copper, gold, if you are taking, they are showing conductivity because of electrons. But here in the solution, because of the ions, mobility of ions. Very nice. Akshat Sinha, right, right. Kritika Ras, nice. Right. Fatima, correct. Now, electrical conductivity, they show electrical conductivity, because of free ions. They show conductivity in molten solution and aqueous solution, means in water. In molten solution and aqueous solution, in both cases, they are good conductors of electricity. They are good conductors of electricity, and ions are responsible. See, again I am saying, Janvi, it is there for you 100%. I mentioned in the syllabus also, again, same thing I am saying. Physical parameters, I gave 3 questions or 4 questions. Then we are having questions from the chemical bonding, 3 questions I gave. Remaining, molten means what? If you are heating a solid, it start melting at its melting point. Okay, that when the solid start melting, we call it as molt. Okay, questions? No, I will not tell any questions. Just I am giving an idea on how many questions I gave. Some 3 questions from the physical parameters, 3 questions from the chemical bonding. So 6 over 5 questions from the mole concept, that is finding the volume, finding the mass, finding the number of electrons, like that. Okay, so total 5 plus 3 plus 3, 11 over, and the remaining 4 questions from the earlier topics like atomic structure, modern periodic table, again. Okay, repeating what is there to repeat, mister? Again, tell the questions which you gave. No, I will not tell any questions. No, not sure. I am just giving an idea on the questions which I gave. Like out of 14 questions, I gave 5 questions from the mole concept, 3 questions from the physical parameters, 3 questions from the chemical bonding, and 4 questions from the earlier topics. Like you learned, what is it? Modern periodic table, atomic structure, and the first chapter. Okay, so very easy concepts, 100% you can do it. Right? Shall I move on now? Right. Now, we will differentiate between the covalent compounds and any compounds. Everyone participate now. Covalent compounds, covalent bond is formed by, how it is formed? In the chart you can mention. How the covalent bond is formed, guys? By sharing of electrons. Ionic bond is formed by transfer of electrons from metal to non-metal. How should be the metal? Metal should be having low ionization enthalpy, sodium chloride, lithium chloride, potassium sulfate, like this we can take. Okay, it is a metal, it is a non-metal. And one thing you should remember, while writing the covalent bond, we have covalent compounds. I have shown you bond between the 2 atoms, correct? One student asked me, what is the directional nature? Sir, I will not tell to anyone. No, mister. Why you are asking like that? No. Now see here, sodium chloride, sodium plus Cl minus. That's all. We will not write the bond between them. So ionic bonds or electrovalent bond is, what is that? Non-directional in nature. It is non-directional in nature. Ionic bond or electrovalent bond, ionic bond or electrovalent bond is non-directional in nature. No need to write the bond between them. They are just attractive forces between the cation and anion, just attractive forces. MgCl will not be there, MgCl2 will be there. Sir, how you are being so serious? Just laugh. No, mister. So continue. Right. So just we are ending in the ending of the topic. Only 4 minutes is remaining. 100% you can do very well, guys. And one thing I want to tell you, like since it is going to end our course right now, and since you are going to go for the offline classes, just concentrate on the basic part what you are learning. Just concentrate. This one, Harita, this one, right? Just concentrate on the fundamental basics. Go through whatever notes or concepts your teacher is teaching you. Regularly do the hard work. Okay, regularly do the hard work, and it is a continuous process. Learning is a continuous process. In one day, we can't achieve anything. I'm not speaking about whether it is JEE mains or advanced or anything. Any examination, even EPSET also very like that this year we got topper like first rank from our organization. So each and every exam is having equal importance, and it will create opportunities for you. So for each and everything, what is important? Your utmost, what is it? Concentration, and you have to work. That's very important. Your work will. Yeah, that's all. Okay. Definitely do the hard work, and it has to done smartly. Means in the class itself, you have to learn, and you have to work. More questions. Solve more questions. Definitely, it will improve your skill. Okay. I am from SR Nagar. Right. Thank you, guys. So, and one more thing I want to tell you today, whatever questions you are going to do, 100% without any support, just try, guys. Try yourself. 100%, whatever you learn, whatever like mole concept, without using any calculator, try once. Like that. I'm not saying you are using Google or anything, just without calculator, use it and try. Okay. And link will be provided by the person for the examination. You check and do it. Okay. So again, I'm repeating. There are 15 questions. Out of that, 5 questions from the mole concept, like volume calculation, mass calculation, number of electrons, comparison, like that, and also go through the units once. Like I taught how to convert Fahrenheit to degree Celsius to Fahrenheit, Kelvin to degree Celsius to Kelvin, and units of AMU, like that. You have to practice. And I gave you units for energy also. Okay, energy units. Remember joules, electron volt. Okay, every whatever units we practiced, you go through that once. And whatever concept you learn today, just have some idea, and definitely you can do it well. All the best, guys. Comparison is more nothing, just whatever questions they are giving you. I am giving you a question in that, which are the following, like one molecule I am going to give. For example, O2. This much is there. How much volume it is occupied? Now find the options among the following which is occupying same volume, like that. Same type of questions which we discussed earlier. Okay, that's all. That's all, guys. I'll inform. I'll inform. Thank you, guys. All the best. All the best. Do well.
Good morning, dear students. Good morning, everybody. So I hope you can hear me. My voice is audible and clear to you all. Yeah, very good morning. Very good morning, everyone. So I hope that you are prepared for today's test, right, which is going to be held in today afternoon. right? So as I've told you that today we will be just discussing the chapter that is cell, the unit of life, right? So let us begin with that, Nana. Right. So the first very question for you, why the cell is called as the unit of life? Cell, cell concept, right? Who discovered the cell, right? Why it is called as a structural and functional unit of life? All this we have been studied from the lower class. So my very first question for you, right, is why the cell is called as the unit of life, right? So we are talking about, right, cell, the unit of life, unit of life, right? So we will be discussing some of the important points of this chapter. Right, Robert who coined the term cell. Yes, fantastic, Vaishnavi. Yes, Nana, correct. But my question is, why do we call it as the unit of life? You're absolutely correct. Robert Hooke gave the term cell, he discovered the cell for the first time. But why do we call it as the unit of life? Right, so you can tell me by the end of the class, right? So let's talk about briefly all the contents of this chapter. So, as already your friend has told me that the cell was discovered by Robert Hooke, right? And what is the branch of the science of the cell called as, when we study about the cell, its structure, its function, the content of the cell organelles, right? That branch of the science is called as, you know it, isn't it? Cytology, right? So cytology is very good, Vaishnavi. Cytology is the branch of the science which basically deals with the study of the cell, the structure of the cell, right? The cell organelles and all its content and their function. That is what we call it as a cytology, right? And we all know it was discovered by, right? The cell was discovered by Robert Hooke, right? Robert Hooke. And what is the year that was discovered by? In 1665. And the cell that the Robert Hooke has discovered, was it a dead cell or a living cell? Was it a dead cell or a living cell? Very good. 1665. Pranavi, correct, Nana. Was it a dead cell or a living cell? It was a dead cell. You know, the cells that were discovered by the Robert Hooke in the year 1665, right? So those cells which he had discovered, those were actually the dead cells. Then the question comes, who actually discovered the living cells? Who actually discovered the living cells? Very good, Fatima. The living cells were discovered by Leeuwenhoek. Very easy to remember, living, L for living, L for Leeuwenhoek. So that was discovered by, right? That was discovered by Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek, right? So Leven, U-E-N will come here, right? Leeuwenhoek, right? And this was a living cell, right? This was a living cell. Absolutely correct. Yes. In the year, yes, Nana, in the year 1674. Now, the next point let us quickly discuss, right? There are two scientists who actually propose the cell theory. This is very important. Can you name the two scientists who actually proposed the cell theory? They proposed the cell theory. Very good. One is a Swan and one is a Scleden. The Swan and the Scleden, they proposed the cell theory. Very important concept. They proposed the cell theory. And what does the cell theory says? The cell theory says that all the living organisms are made up of the cells. Whether it is a plant, whether it is an animal, they are made up of the cells, isn't it? That was the cell theory says, right? Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Cell is the basic unit of life. A life begins from the cell itself. This is what they proposed, right? So this was given by this one who was the zoologist, and Scladen, who was, right, the botanist. So Scladen actually performed the experiments on the plants. Swan performed the experiments on the animals, and they individually concluded that all the animals are made up of the cells, right? And even the plants are made up of the cells. So the cell theory came into existence. Yes, absolutely correct. In the year 1839. But the next question is, who actually modified this cell theory? This is very important. Very good, Fatima. The modified version, very good, Nana Vaishnavi. The modified, the new, right, version of the cell theory was actually given by, that is given by Rudolf Virchow, right? Rudolf Virchow actually modified the cell theory. And what did he say? Right? Modified the cell theory. And what did he say actually? He said that the cells arise from pre-existing cell. Fantastic. He gave, omnis cellula e cellula, right? What is the meaning? The cells arise from the pre-existing cell. Now also in your school days, in your college days, no, now you will enter into the college, right? In your school days or in the movies, you might have heard this, Nana. Hen came first, or what do you say? The egg came first, కోడి ఫస్ట్ వచ్చిందా లేదా గుడ్డు ఫస్ట్ వచ్చిందా, రైట్? अंडा पहले आया है कि मुर्गी पहले आया है ना? तो कैन यू जस्ट गिव मी द क्वेश्चन, बीइंग अ साइंस स्टूडेंट्स, right? I mean, answer, being a science student, what could be the answer, Nana? What do you think, that hen arised first or the egg arised first? Yes, Pranavi says egg. Very good. Is there anyone who says mammon? Yes, Fatima says egg. Correct, absolutely correct. Why the egg? Why the egg? Yes, you are absolutely correct. Why the egg? Because egg is egg is what? Egg is क्या है वैष्णवी? Egg ain't nana. Very good. It's a cell, है ना? We have learned that cells arise from the pre-existing cells. Very good, है ना? The cells arise from the pre-existing cells, right? So modern cell theory, the modified version was given by the Rudolf Virchow, right? So these are the things that you have to remember, right? Which is given in your module also. Then let's talk about size of the cells now, right? Size of some cells, right? Size of cells. We know that cells come in a different shape and structure. Cells come in a different forms and structures and shape and size, right? They come in a different shapes depending on their function. Depending on their function, they have a different structures. ఏ ఫంక్షన్స్ అవి చేస్తాయో దాన్ని బట్టి different structures ఉంటాయి, right? So we have got certain cells and their size, right? The smallest cell, do you know what is the smallest cell? This is very important. You can see certain PYQs also, previous year questions. Sperm. Okay, Ayansh, that is the smallest one in the human, Nana, right? Generally, very good. Generally, the smallest cell is mycoplasma. Very good, right? Can you tell me few points about mycoplasma? ये PYQ है, previous year का question है. Mycoplasma के बारे में 2 point है. You know what is that? 2 to 3 point. This is the smallest ever known cell on the world, right? Second thing is that it can survive in the absence or presence of oxygen. Yes, size is 0.3 micrometer, fantastic. But mycoplasma can survive in the presence or absence of oxygen? Come on, tell me. You have studied already in the same chapter. Same chapter आपने पढ़ा है. Very good. It can survive in the absence of oxygen, right? Mycoplasma का size है 0.3 micrometers in length. Fantastic. And here itself, let us discuss about mycoplasma. Mycoplasma survives without the oxygen, right? It is pathogenic, right? It causes disease in, what do you say, the plants and animals? Yes, very good. It is without a cell wall, है ना? So has no cell wall, right? No cell wall. Very good, Nana. And survive without oxygen. These are important points. They survive without oxygen and they are actually pathogenic. That means they cause diseases. They are pathogenic in a nature, right? So ee chapter lo last lo undi point we have discussed here itself. Okay, let's talk about the next thing. What is the size of a bacteria? You know, bacteria is omnipresent. Bacteria is cosmopolitan. It is present everywhere, है ना? So what is the size of the bacteria, है ना? So size of the bacteria is, right, 3 to 5 micrometers. It's 3 to 5 micrometers. Very good. Fantastic. Right? 3 to 5 micrometers ki range low, the bacteria is there. Right? You know, bacteria. Acha, again, it's a neat question about the bacteria. Can you tell me, Nana, what is the mode of nutrition that is most common in bacteria? This is also one of the PYQ, right? Mode of nutrition in bacteria which is most common. Is it autotrophic or is it heterotrophic? I mean to say, majority of the bacteria are autotrophic or heterotrophic. You have to tell me. Very good. Very clearly in the NCERT it is mentioned, right? Very clearly in your textbook NCERT it is mentioned, majority of the bacteria are heterotrophic in a nature, right? And few are autotrophic in a nature. Fantastic, Nana. Fantastic. Only photosynthetic bacteria. Very good. Few are autotrophic. Majority of the bacteria are heterotrophic in a nature. Very good. Right. Let's talk about the next one. Right. Acha. What is the size of the RBC? Right? What is the size of the RBC, red blood cells? Very important. Now we are talking about our blood. Yes, the size of the RBC is 7 micrometers in diameter. Right. Okay. Then some other are given that single isolated cell is a ostrich cell. है ना? The largest cell is the right, the ovum. The longest one is the neuron or the nerve cell, which has the size of about 1 meter also, right? So all these are the sizes of the cells, right? They possess different structure. They take different structure depending on the function that they have to perform, right? This is all the thing, right? Let's talk about the next thing. Let's discuss about the prokaryotic cell. Acha. Now, cells can be broadly divided into two categories, we all know, depending on the presence or absence of the well-developed nucleus. When we talk about the prokaryotic, Nana, let's talk about a prokaryotic cell, right? What do you mean by prokaryotic cell? What is the meaning of the prokaryotic cell? What is prokaryotic cell? Very good, Vaishnavi. Prokaryotic and eukaryotic, yes. What is the meaning of the prokaryotic cell, Nana? Right? Pro का मतलब क्या है? Right. Pro का मतलब है primitive. Pro means this is not that pro, है ना? Pro here means primitive, without nucleus. And this is, right, nucleus. Carry on का मतलब nucleus. Very good. It doesn't have nucleus. Okay. It's most appropriate if we say not well developed nucleus. Okay. Primitive or a nucleus, that means without not well developed nucleus. How many chromosomes are present in a prokaryotic cell? The best example does not have have membrane bound organelles. Very good, they are absent. Can you give an example of a prokaryotic cell? Example of a prokaryotic cell? example of a prokaryotic cell? Can you give? Very good. Bacteria, right? The best example that we study is the bacteria, right? So, PPLO, fantastic. Pleuropneumonia like organism. Yes. Okay. Right. Mycoplasma. Very good. Right. All these are the examples of what is at the prokaryotic cell. Let's quickly see the structure of this prokaryotic cell. Right. Let's quickly see the structure, a rough structure that I am drawing here, right? Bacteria can occur in a very good and a blue-green alga. Bacteria can occur in a different shapes, right? 4 different shapes, coccus, right? Rod shape, which is called as bacillus, and spiral shape, which is called as spirulum, and also it occurs in a comma shape, which is called as a vibrio, right? So it occurs in a 4 different shapes, but the most typical one that we study is what the rod shaped one, right? So let us quickly study about this. So a typical one, a normal structure I'm drawing here, right? Bacterial structure. So most of the bacteria has a cell envelope, है So we are just trying to draw that. Okay, so let me tell you, this is the cell wall. It has a cell wall, and then it has the inner layer, right? Inner layer. What is this inner layer called as? The inner layer is called as the cell membrane. The inner layer is called as the cell membrane, and most of the bacteria, they also have the outer layer, which is nothing but glycocalyx. It can be, what do you say, tightly bound or it can be loosely bound. So this is a outer one, right? Outer one. This is a glycocalyx. Glycocalyx, right? Uh-oh. Calyx, right? All together, it is called as cell envelope. Altogether, it is called as a cell envelope, right? Then let's talk about few more things, right? It has the bacteria has a chromosome. What is the number of the chromosome that it contains? How many chromosomes does it contain? Yes. How many chromosomes do the bacteria have? We have 46 chromosomes in number and 23 chromosomes in pair. So how many chromosomes are present in a bacteria, Nana? How many chromosome? Bacteria also has a chromosome, how many chromosome? It has a single chromosome, right? The prokaryotes have a single chromosome. Very good, single chromosome. But the single chromosome, it is not actually surrounded or covered by any nuclear membrane, right? It is present here in the cytoplasm. Since it doesn't have any proper nuclear membrane, this part is what we call it as. What is this called as? Right. What is this called as? Nucleoid. Am I correct? Is this a nucleoid? Right? Do we call it as a nucleoid? Yeah, DNA. It is made up of a DNA, single chromosome, which contains the DNA, the naked DNA, not enclosed. Very good. Naked DNA, not enclosed by any nuclear membrane, has a single chromosome. Right? Basically, they have a single chromosome, and chromosomes are made up of the DNA, isn't it? Okay, chalo. Now, very important points, Nana. The nuclear membrane, what you see, sorry, nuclear membrane, not the cell membrane, what you see, the cell membrane is folded inwards. The cell membrane is folded towards inner side, okay, and what are these structures called as? The cell membrane, right? The cell membrane, right, is folded towards the inner side. The inner foldings of the cell membranes are called as dash. What are these called as? These are the structures which are responsible for replication of DNA. They help in cell division. They act as a site of respiration. Come on, yeah, this is one of the very important question, Nana, right? Cell membrane which is present towards the inner side. See, there are three layers, है ना? Three layers. Outer layer is a glycocalyx, middle layer is a cell wall, the inner layer is a cell membrane. Cell membrane is the inner one, the middle one is a cell wall, and the outer one is a glycocalyx. No, not a plasmid, not a plasmid. Listen carefully what I'm saying. Three layers are present, and all these three layers collectively we call it as cell envelope. Try to understand properly. Not cytoplasma, not cytoplasma. Listen carefully. Listen, this is what very important point, and listen carefully. Bacteria has got three layers. Okay, most of the bacteria has got three layers. Okay, now outer layer is what we call it as glycocalyx. The inner middle layer is what we call it as cell wall. Yes, and that plasma membrane is the innermost layer, right? All these three actually gives protection, collectively gives protection. Very good, Meher, very good, Fatima, right? All these three collectively they give protection. Individually, again, glycocalyx function is different, right? Cell wall ka role is different, and the cell membrane role is different. Now listen, this inner cell wall, sorry, cell membrane, what is there? This cell membrane at some places, ఇది మొత్తమే ఇదైపోతుంది. Okay, let me see, let me draw. In the inner, this is the cell membrane, na? The cell membrane actually folds towards inside. Cell membrane, this is very important point, Nana. Cell membrane folds towards inner side and it forms some structures. Cell membrane क्या होगा? Cell membrane अंदर की तरफ fold हो जाएगा. Cell membrane local की तरफ fold అవుతుంది and it forms certain structures. These infoldings, what you see, these infoldings are called as mesosomes, not ribosomes, not ribosomes. These are mesosomes, है ना? These are mesosomes, है ना? See, again I'm telling you, this is a straight away question. The inner foldings of cell membrane forms a structure. These structures are called as mesosome. Cell membrane folds towards inner side, not entire cell membrane, बच्चे वहाँ पे कुछ cell membrane folds inner side, it forms mesosome. Mesosome is very important, right? You can see the structure because it helps in, see, I'm writing the functions here itself, Nana. It has a multiple roles. One of the thing is that bacteria doesn't have mitochondria. You know, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. You may have this mitochondria to generate energy, right? For which is required, right? For to perform the various functions वगैरह. But this poor bacteria doesn't have any mitochondria, na, है ना? So it has to generate energy, right? These structures helps in respiration process, right? Mesosomes helps in, कहाँ गया यार? Mesosomes are the structures which helps in respiration process, right? Remember, mesosomes are the structures which helps in cell division. Bacteria divides into two daughter cell, so that means mesosomes are helping in cell division. Mesosomes helps in DNA replication. Mesosomes helps in secretion of some product, right? See, there are many functions and all this you have to remember, right? Again I'm telling you, the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, right, at certain places it enfolds towards the inner side. These enfold structures are called as mesosome. Mesosomes are the structures which helps in DNA replication, cell division. It is a site of respiration, right, and also it helps in secretion, right? Quite important. So the question can be asked, name the structures in the prokaryotic cells which act as a site of respiration, that is mesosome. Or the question can be asked, the inner folding of the cell membranes are called as dash, mesosomes, ribosomes, nucleoid, vagera vagera, right? So that you have to know. Then come to one more point, Nana, right? The NCERT clearly says that in certain bacteria, see the words, what are these? In autotrophic bacteria, not every bacteria, most of the bacteria are heterotrophic. In photosynthetic bacteria, again the cell membrane folds towards the inner side. The cell membrane folds towards the inner side, and they form structures. Now this time these structures are called as chromatophores. These are called as chromatophores. Remember, chromatophores are present only in photosynthetic bacteria. They are present only in a photosynthetic bacteria. Why? Because these structures are those structures which contains the pigments which are necessary for the photosynthesis. है ना? So you have to be very prompt about these points, Nana. Cell membrane fold होता है अंदर की तरफ इन सारे बैक्टीरियाज में for respiration, that is mesosome. But in photosynthetic or autotrophic bacteria, the cell membrane again folds to form a structures to hold some pigments. These structures in the photosynthetic bacteria are referred to as a chromatophores. Chroma means colored, है ना? So the structures which holds or which contains the color pigment which are responsible for the photosynthesis, right? Apart from this, we know there is a cytoplasm, jelly-like substance, है ना? So let's say cytoplasm, this is common, right? The cytoplasma, right? Which is nothing but made up of the water itself, and then they have non-membrane bound structures. What are these? Non-membrane bound structures. Very important. Question can be asked. Listen to the question. In what way the question can be asked? Name the structures which are common in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. No, not serine, not lysosomes, not lysosomes. See, पहले सुनो तो बच्चे, पहले मेरी क्वेश्चन तो सुनो ना. यही तो गलती होती है ना? We don't listen, we don't read the question, पट से आंसर कर देते हैं and it goes wrong. ना, नीट में ऐसे गलती नहीं करना है. You have to read the question properly. See my question. The structures which are non-membrane bound. Here itself you got the clue. I'm waiting for the answer. These are non-membrane bound and common in both eukaryotic and prokaryotic. Very good. Ribosomes. Ribosomes are common cell structures or the organelles which are present in, very good, Nana. Yes, now you got the point. They're commonly present in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. They are non-membrane bound. ये वाला question बहुत important है, right? So the bacteria have got, है ना, ribosomes. They have got ribosomes. These are non-membrane bound. They don't have any membrane. They are non-membrane bound. What type of ribosome? 70S. 70S. This is also one of the important question. Question ऐसा question आता है. Listen, Nana, what is the question? Right? This is very good. This is made up of 50S and smaller severe 30S. Right? The question is like this, Nana. One of the question was asked. In eukaryotes, this is prokaryote. In eukaryote, what are the ribosomes that are present? Do they contain only 70S? Do they contain only 80S? Do they contain both 70 and 80S? Right? Or they contain, what do you say? Acha, Shagufta says 80S, ma'am. Acha, chalo bachche. Yes, my question, I think you understood, Nana. Shagufta ne kaha 80S. Shagufta sahi hai. Good, Shagufta. थोड़ा सा गलत हो. Shagufta is 99% correct, 1% wrong. है ना? मैं बोलूं कैसे? Yes. Pranavi, would you like to answer? Meher? Yes. Vaishnavi? हाँ, Meher says both 70S and 80S. Let me tell you, Nana. कैसे? Shagufta, listen बच्चे. Right? Eukaryotes cytoplasma has 80S ribosome. ये नीट का क्वेश्चन है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है. Eukaryotes has cytoplasma. In the cytoplasma, the ribosomes are 80S. But in eukaryotes like us, we have, what is that? mitochondria. Plants have chloroplast. So in the mitochondria and chloroplast, they have their own ribosomes. Yes, you have studied. They are called as semi-autonomous structure. This is also important NEET question. Name the two structures or the cells organelles which are semi-autonomous. Chloroplast and the mitochondria are semi-autonomous. That means they have their own DNA. They have their राइबोसोम्स. खुद के पास खुद का राइबोसोम्स है यार. तो यूकैरियोट्स में ना जो साइटोप्लाज्मा होता है उसके अंदर 80s टाइप का राइबोसोम है, बट the chloroplast and mitochondria have got a 70s type of ribosome. So remember, eukaryotes have got both the type of ribosome, 70s and 80s, but prokaryotes have got only one type of ribosome, that is 70s, with a smaller subunit of 30s and larger subunit of 50s. This is what we know. Ribosomes are called as protein factories. Ribosomes are called as protein factories, right? Why do they call this protein factories? Because protein synthesis occurs. Protein factories, right? Protein formation होता है with the help of ribosomes. Very good. And a protein synthesis. Okay. राइट ओके. उसके अलावा क्या है, हाँ, दे ऑल्सो हैव, सी इट्स अ प्रोकैरियोट यार, इसके पास वेल डेवलप्ड सेल ऑर्गेनल्स नहीं है, मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड सेल ऑर्गेनल्स आर एब्सेंट, इट्स वेरी प्रिमिटिव, है ना? राइट राइट. पलाडे पार्टिकल्स आर, व्हाट इज दैट? Discovered by Palade? Yes, ribosomes. Acha, what I was saying? Since it is a primitive, it doesn't have the storage vacuoles and all, right? So they have some inclusion bodies. Correct? This is also an important question, Nana. They have some inclusion bodies which are freely floating in the. Acha, Vaishnavi said, ma'am, 30 plus 50s is 80s na? Yes, Vaishnavi, you are absolutely correct. But you might have learned that, right? Why they make it 70s? Acha, you give me time. Now, I'll complete this. I'll complete the eukaryotic cell, and if time permits, we'll discuss about that. Somehow, when you come back to the classes regularly, right from Monday onwards, I guess, then when the ma'am or the sir, the faculty start teaching you, they will tell you why 70s and why it is 30 and 50s, Nana. This is based on sedimentation. S का मतलब होता है sedimentation, right? Or we also call it as Swedberg unit. That is also important question. We'll talk about that. Now let me talk about this, Nana. Right? This is also an important question. Bacteria stores the granule, stores the food, stores the starch, stores the oil, stores the fat. Okay, so where do they store all these things? They don't have any vacuole to store, right? They don't have any adipose tissue like us to store the fat, right? So where do they store? They store, very good, they store in this inclusion body. So they store in this inclusion bodies. Inclusion bodies. So what is the role of this inclusion bodies? The role of this inclusion body is storage. The role of this inclusion body is storage. वो storage का काम करती है, right? And they are freely floating. Freely floating. So the question can be asked, name the freely floating structures in the prokaryotes, right, which act as a storage, or I mean like which functions as storage. Yes, free in the cytoplasm and not bound by any of the membrane. That's why we say, very good Fatima, that is why we say prokaryotes doesn't contain any of the membrane bound cell organelle. So ribosome also is a non-membrane bound, right? Ribosome is common in eukaryotes as well as prokaryotes. I guess most of the points we have covered in the prokaryotic cell. हाँ, कुछ point और भी है, right? What is the chemical composition of these three? This also is important, Nana. When we talk about glycocalyx, see, glycocalyx, right? G for glycocalyx, है ना, दूसरा कलर ले लेते हैं, राइट. G for glycocalyx, G for glycocalyx, and it is made up of G. What is that G? It is made up of glycoprotein, glycoprotein, glycocalyx, right? G and glycoprotein G. Remember, Nana, what they are made up of. Chemically they are different, है ना. Glycocalyx is composed of glycoprotein. G for glycocalyx, G for glycoprotein. इसका क्या रोल है? What is the role of the glycocalyx? Glycocalyx basically, all these three, when we talk about collectively, they protect the bacteria, but individually again they have got their own function. When we talk about the glycocalyx, see, main function इसका है glycocalyx. It gives protection. It also prevents the bacteria from desiccation. Desiccation का मतलब drying up. It doesn't allow the bacteria to dry up, right? It prevents the bacteria or protects the bacteria from desiccation, and also, right, it acts as a virulent, Nana. Virulent means, see, when we say bacteria is pathogenic, bacteria causes diseases. So that disease causing nature, the property to cause the disease, those properties are actually present in this glycocalyx. So glycocalyx is virulent, it is infectious, it protects the bacteria from desiccation, है ना, and many other things are there. You can just go through that, right? Coming to this cell wall, what is the chemical nature of the cell wall? Now you tell me. The cell wall is made up of what? बहुत important question है यार, right? The cell wall is made up of bacteria का cell wall. This is important question again. The cell wall of the bacteria is made up of peptidoglycan polysaccharides. Pranavi? Yes. Peptidoglycan and lipopolysaccharides, as Pranavi said. Peptidoglycan and lipopolysaccharides. Very good. Okay. When we talk about the plasma membrane or the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, right? So this is made up of, what is it? Phospholipids, and proteins. It is made up of phospholipids, lipids and proteins. When we talk about the cell wall, what is this? Lipopolysaccharides. Yes, it is semi-permeable in membrane. We know, and selectively. Where, yes, Zavia Sabine. I didn't get your question, bache. Where another ma'am? Acha, you are asking me where is another ma'am? Another ma'am, I think yesterday I have told you, Sabine, you were there or no, I don't know. Ma'am is not keeping well. So there is last 2 of your session. I am here. Is it clear, Sabine? Okay. That was your question, I guess. Yes. Okay. Let's come back. These are the things. Let's come back to some important points. Right? Now, what are the important points, Nana? Right? The very good pili and fibri, that's what I was about to talk. The bacteria have got some cell surface structure, है ना? They have got extensions of the, what do you say, the surface of the cell structure, right? If the bacteria is motile, if the bacteria is capable of moving, that is due to the presence of flagella, isn't it? They have what? Flagella, right? So bacteria are plasmids. We'll talk about that now, Vaishnavi. But the bacteria is motile. Bacteria moves, show the locomotion, show the movement. That is because of the flagella, right? Flagella, which helps in motility. Bacteria are motile with the help of the flagella. Then, apart from this, the bacteria also have got some extensions. What are these? Right? These are, right, bristle-like structures, right? Some, right, thin structures that are present. Right. Okay. Some are small, some are long, right? These structures, what you see, है ना, these are actually pillars and fimbriae. So I have a small question for you. What is the function of the pillars? Pillars is singular, pillar is plural. What is the function of these pillars and what is the function of the fimbriae? What is the role of pillars and the fimbriae? Yes, conjugation. Very good. It is a sexual reproduction, but not exactly sexual reproduction, but right? Not exactly sexual reproduction, right? But physically, as two bacteria come in contact during the transfer of the genetic material, so this method is what we call it as conjugation, right? So pillars helps in that process, transmission of the genetic material from one to the another. Yes, Nana, flagella we have discussed. What is the important question? Hardik, now first let me tell you, because all these days ma'am has taught you, it is only the last 2 days that I have got an opportunity to come and have an interaction with you all. So the question paper itself is prepared by ma'am Nana, right? But I have just been told that 11 questions are there from the cell, the unit of life, and the 4 questions are there from human circulatory. Am I correct? You have human circulatory. So, what exactly the important question that man has chosen, I have no idea. But most of the questions which are PYQ, which have been asked, which are important, I have mentioned already here. So, prepare those and the remaining things also. Yeah, flagella helps in coming back to the class. Flagella helps in locomotion. Yes, it is motile. Motility is due to the flagella, right? Pillars are the structures helps in conjugation, transfer of the genetic material, sorry, fimbriae. Let us draw some small structures like this, right? Bristle-like structures. These structures are called as fimbriae. What is the role of the fimbriae, Nana? What is the role of the fimbriae? They helps in attachment to the host. Very good. If the bacteria has to enter into our body, and it has to produce some, what do you say, or cause some disease or something, yeah, it has to attach to our cell organelles. What do you say? Not cell organelles, I mean what do you say, the organs or the tissues or the cell. So for that attachment it requires some structures, and these finger like structures which helps in attachment or adherence is what we call it as fimbriae. So fimbriae, attachment, pillars, conjugation, flagella, motility, nucleoid, single naked DNA, right? Chromatophores, the inner foldings of cell membrane present only in a photosynthetic bacteria. Mesosomes, the inner folding of the cell membrane or the plasma membrane, site for respiration, site of secretion, site of cell division, helps in DNA replication. Cytoplasma, right, junction for all the cellular activities. And then we discuss inclusion bodies, which are freely present, the floating bodies in the cytoplasm, act as storage structures. Ribosome, which is a protein factory, that is 70S ribosome, which has a smaller subunit, 30S in the larger subunit of the 50S. S stands for, what is the meaning of the S? That is important question. The S stands for Swedberg's unit, right? It is a Swedberg's unit. So ERG or U, just check it out. Or we also call it as sedimentation coefficient. Sedimentation coefficient. Okay. So I think most of the things we have completed, right? They have glycocalyx made up of a glycoprotein. They have a cell wall which is made up of, right, lipopolysaccharides, what do you say, right? And then cell membrane. And coming back to this, bacteria have got, right, special structures. Apart from their genetic material, apart from their DNA, apart from their chromosome, what do you say? They have extra circular double-stranded DNA. These structures are called as plasmids. Am I correct? Very, very important. And again, plasmids. What are plasmids, right? Plasmid, ये important question है यार, right? Hardik ने पूछा था, Hardik you asked, all these are the important, wherever I'm stressing, and other than that you can just go through again, Nana. Plasmids are, see, this is a normal genetic material, the normal genetic material, the general one. But other than this genetic material, these bacteria, the prokaryotes, have got extra. This is the normal, na? They have got extra, right? Circular, double-stranded DNA, and this extra chromosomal DNA is what we call it as a plasmid. Plasmid का एक बहुत important feature है, right? It has got an important feature. What is that? What is that? Plasmids have got certain antibiotic resistant genes, right? Yes, self-replication, very good, right? They are helping in, they are self-replicating double-stranded DNA, and they have got, what is it, genes, right? Antibiotic resistant gene, antibiotic resistance gene or resistant genes, right? That means they have some genes, right? These genes enable them to survive even in the presence of certain antibiotics. See, antibiotics are usually given to kill the bacteria, but some bacteria can survive these antibiotics. How are they able to survive this antibiotic? Because they have naturally some genes present in them which give them the protection, right? The capacity, the resistant capacity to protect against those particular, what do you say, the antibiotic. Apart from this, very good, Vaishnavi, they give certain phenotypic characters to the bacteria. They impart certain physical characters to the bacteria. So, self-replication, double-stranded, extra chromosomal, circular DNA, right, called as a plasmid, right, and then they have got certain genes for which are antibiotic resistant, and also they impart certain phenotypic characters. Other than that, they have some structures called as polysomes. You can just, I'm just telling it like that. They have certain structures called as polysomes. What are polysomes? When many ribosomes, 70S ribosome, when many ribosomes attach to mRNA. Don't worry, Nana. All these you'll study again in detail when we come to the offline classes. Right? When they are attached to the mRNA, the structure is what we call it as polysomes. Right? Poly means many. Right? Zomes. When ribosomes, many ribosomes are attached to the single mRNA, we call it as a polysome. Done? So this is all about the prokaryotic cell. This is all about the prokaryotic cell. Chalo. Now we have got 20 minutes left, right? Yes. No. 10 minutes left, right? So let us quickly discuss some features of the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell, one important question, yes, which I have already told you, right? So eukaryotes have got both the ribosomes, that is 80S ribosome as well as 70S. In the cytoplasm, it has 80S, but in the chloroplast and mitochondria, it has 70S ribosomes, Nana. When we talk about the eukaryotic cell, so the best example, right, eukaryotic cells. When we talk about eukaryotes, so 4 kingdoms fall under this eukaryotes. One is protista, right, kingdom protista, right, so protista fall under here, right. Then you can see, what is that, Nana? Fungi or the fungus. All the fungus are actually, right, they are eukaryotic in nature, right, so you know it. And then plants fall under here, and then animals fall under here, right. So 4 kingdoms, the 4 categories. Fun factors. Yes, you can discuss, Nana, right? But since there is a test today, so let's discuss this now. We'll complete this. Hai na, Ayansh? Please don't mind me, bache, right? So, ma'am used to discuss the fun factors because she used to take all this 20-25 days of the class, so she had the ample of time. Hai na? So, now since it's a test time, then we'll quickly cover this, right? Okay, come back to this one, protista, fungi, plants and animalia. Right, okay. Can you give the examples of the protista? Protista. Give the examples of the protista. Can you give? Right? Euglena, chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, you have this. Okay, right? All these are under the kingdom Pratista. Fungi, yes, diatom, very good. They are coming under the kingdom Pratista. Eukaryotes, right, Nana? Okay. The points, other than that, quickly, let's talk about what is that. Only kingdom Monera, right? Only kingdom Monera. Only kingdom Monera is prokaryotic. Kingdom Monera. Only kingdom Monera, right? Kingdom Monera is prokaryotic, right? Is prokaryotic. Prokaryotic, right? And these prokaryotes are unicellular. So one more important question is that name the kingdom, right? Okay, not from this, that is from the biological classification, so leave it that. So only this is unicellular. Let's talk about the next one, eukaryotic cell. So as we don't have much time, so just I'm briefing you. What is this thing? Chloroplast structure, that is important point that you have to see, Nana. Mitochondria structure, those are important concept that you have to see, right? The two cell organelles which are semi-autonomous that I have asked you, semi-autonomous structures, right? This is an important point that you have to go through. Semi-autonomous structures or the cell organelles you can write, right? Or the cell organelles, the two semi-autonomous cell organelles. That means they have their own DNA and they have their own ribosome. Semi-autonomous का मतलब है they are not completely under the control of the nucleus, right? Their activities are not completely under the role of the nucleus. They can produce their own enzymes and proteins as they have got their own genetic material as well as what do you say ribosome. So the two are chloroplast, right, as well as the mitochondria, right? This is what you have to know. And in the animals, the largest cell organelle that we talk about is the nucleus, right? In the animals, other than the nucleus, then we have in the cytoplasma, it is a mitochondria. If we talk about the plants, it is the chloroplast, we know, right? Kindly go through the structure of the chloroplast, Nana. Chloroplast, these two, again, these two are double membrane structure. We know these two are double membranous structure. They have got two membrane, है ना? Double membranous structure, right? They have two membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. In case of mitochondria, the inner membrane is folded and the inner foldings are called as dash. 5 minutes is left out. In case of mitochondria, right? Very good. Vacuole is the largest in plant cell. I have even Googled. Ayan said, okay, right. But is, yes, Nana. Okay, we'll send it. Yes, Nana. Right. When we talk about the plant cell vacuole, 90% of the cell's space is actually covered by the vacuole. Okay, Ayansh, very good. And then chloroplast, right? Acha, the vacuole has got a membrane. What is that membrane called as, Nana? Vacuole has got a membrane. What is that membrane called as? Vacuole has got a membrane. What is that membrane called as? Chloroplast, very good. If we look at the structure of a mitochondria, quickly let us go to the structure of mitochondria as well as what is it, chloroplast, mitochondria and chloroplast. I have asked you what is the innermost folding of this mitochondria called as? Outer membrane, right? Outer membrane. This is outer membrane. Inner membrane is very good, cristae. Inner membrane is folded like this, right? Inner membrane is folded towards inner side, right? So inner membrane, and this inner membrane with these foldings are called as what is that? Cristae. Cristae is the site for what do you say, Nana? Cellular respiration, right? I'm not writing here, okay? And what is it? Mitochondria is right site for cellular respiration. So question can be asked, which is the site for the cellular respiration? So breakdown of glucose to release energy, complete breakdown occurs here in the mitochondria, right? And then what else? They have got, I have told you, they have got their own DNA and they have got their own ribosomes. So here in the mitochondria, The ribosomes that are present are 70S ribosomes. Acha, now important question for you. What is the DNA that is present here in the mitochondria? Is it a double-stranded or single-stranded? Is it a double-stranded circular or single-stranded circular? Fatima says single-stranded. Okay. Yes, Fatima, correct? Yes, Nana, Hardik, okay. Is it a circular? Single circular, yes. Right? Single circular. So be very cautious about this point, right? So they have a DNA, right? DNA is present of their, that is why they are called as a semi-autonomous, right? So there is no difference in this one. Circular, right? DNA. Okay, and they have got the cytoplasm, and here in the mitochondria we call it as, what is that? Matrix, right? Let us quickly see about the chloroplast, right? Let us quickly talk about the chloroplast. Chloroplast also is a double membranous structure, right? They have got the outer membrane and they have got the inner membrane. This is the outer membrane, right? And they have got the inner membrane. But unlike the mitochondria, the inner membrane is not folded, right? So this is inner membrane. Done? Okay. Here the cytoplasm is called as a stroma. These are important, stroma. We call it as a stroma, right? So they have a flat structures. These flat individual structure is called as what? Correct. Thylakoid. Flat individual structure is called as a thylakoid, but thylakoids are arranged or piled up just like how the coins are piled. Now this whole structure, what you see, this whole structure is called as a grana, isn't it? This whole structure is called as grana, or yes, granum, individually grana. So there are many, what you see, the granas are present, right? And these granas are connected. How are they connected? They are connected through, what is this connection called as? They are connected through stroma lamellae. Yes, correct. They are connected through stroma lamellae, right? Lamellae, correct? Now, thylakoid or the grana is the place where the light reaction takes place. Light reaction of photosynthesis occurs. You know, chloroplast is a site where the photosynthesis occurs. Acha, what is the meaning of the grana? Hardik, pay attention, Nana. Now, single flat structure is present in the, what do you say, chloroplast? Single flat structure is present. That individual single flat structure ka naam, or that is called as thylakoid. Now, there are many thylakoids which are piled up like a coin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thylakoid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, this full structure of thylakoid is called as grana. Is this clear? When we talk about a single individual flat structure, that is a thylakoid. But many thylakoids are arranged. They are piled up. Right? They are piled up like this. Now that complete thylakoid structure is what we call it as a grana. Single thylakoid, all that arrangement is called as a grana. Now, grana is the site where the light reaction takes place, and the stroma is the site. Stroma, where is this? Stroma is the site where the dark reaction occurs. Dark reaction occurs. So, light reaction is, what is that, Nana? Yes, very good. Now they have got double-stranded circular DNA. Very nice. They have got, what is it? They have their own double-stranded circular DNA. Right? dsDNA, right? And they have got their ribosomes. That is what we said. They have got their ribosomes. What ribosomes? They have got the ribosomes of 70S. So in the cytoplasm 80S, but in the mitochondria and the chloroplast, that is a 70S, right? So chloroplast is a place or the cell organelle where the photosynthesis takes place. Chloroplast have got double membrane, outer and inner membrane. The cytoplasm of the chloroplast is called as the stroma. The flat structures individual is called as thylakoid. Thylakoids are arranged or piled up, and that complete structure is called as a red grana. Many granas are interconnected through the stroma lamellae, right? Grana is a site for what is that light reaction. The stroma is a site for the dark reaction. Yes, double-stranded circular DNA. Is it correct? Fatima, right? They have got ribosome 70S and dsDNA. Clear? And remaining things you can cover it, Nana. Lysosomes. Lysosomes are the smallest cell organelles in what do you say, the animals we know, and what is it? It is called as a suicidal sac of the cell. Go through that. Okay, the remaining cell organelles which are there: endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex, vacuole. Vacuole ka outer layer is called as what is a stonoplast, right? All this you can see. Endomembranous system. So endomembranous system. We don't have any next class, Nana. So we can't interact again. Yes. So you can interact directly as you come to the offline classes, right? So right there you can have your interaction. So I hope very quickly we have revised all these concepts and it was useful for you, right? This last session of mine, right? So all the best. Write your exam. I will write your test well, Nana, and all the very best for your offline classes, right? So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. And this PDF will be sent, right? Okay, the Hardik. Thank you, Nana. Thank you so much.